3, 4, 20.
We're here. Welcome in, everybody. We're painting today.
Hello.
Surprise, surprise. And if you didn't know that, you've been living under a rock. And I don't even know if there's anybody in here right now.
I might have hit the go button.
I did. There's T. Schmidt. There's Dark Mockery.
I think you literally hit the go button and did the count-in at the same time.
I did, because it gives me that nice little 3-second hump. Ross, Jeff Before Dishonor, Paint Liquor, Alex.
I love that name, by the way.
Jeff, is that from something that I don't know
well,
about?
Death Before Dishonor is a
I know
good
that
term.
I didn't know if it was like a special name of a character I just didn't know about.
Jeff.
Oh, it is just Jeff. Jeff Before Dishonor.
It's Jeff.
Rattle Can.
From the fantasy series Jeff Before Dishonor.
Okay. I don't believe you right now.
I don't know why.
Fearless
leader must be believed.
Are you lying to me right now, Jason? Is
pretty
this
much
a
lie
thing?
To you.
All right.
I think it's fair to say that what I tell you is at least stretching the truth.
I hope not.
Probably.
I hope that only happens in this room during 2 to 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
Probably 60% of the time.
Teach me. Chris's face is back. Yes, unfortunately for all of you. Old. I fixed my issue.
Don't listen to him. He's such a ninny.
I fixed my issue.
You fixed
with
nothing.
The tissue. I did fix it. It's literally fixed. TK, Panic Bomb. Jason.
Sir, yes, sir.
What is on the docket for today?
I am painting.
Okay. Step 1. Step 2. Are we going all the way with this black armor today?
Well, I'm continuing to put color on the armor, yes.
Color on model, you mean?
That too. Yes.
Regards from Denmark. Hello, Monument and chat.
Hello.
Hope you gave you like. Hey, what's going on?
Hello.
Hello from Denmark.
Hello from Phoenix, Arizona.
Jason is actually in Phoenix, Arizona. I am in Juneau, Alaska.
I had no idea that Juneau was so close.
It's like a football throw away. No, softball throw.
Dude, I could reach, I could extend over this table and slap you right now.
You could pee
That is
into
a lot
Alaska.
closer than how far I can throw a football.
Matt, what's going on? We are so back. That's correct. Chris is lying liar who lies. T. Schmid,
100%.
I didn't think I would do this, but
You're banned.
you're welcome here at all times.
Wait, what?
It's the reverse.
Wait. But you're welcome here always.
Violent heritage in the system. Help, help, I'm being oppressed. Yes, TK. That's exactly. Luckily for you guys, I have been watching Monty Python to get inspired to do my Knights project.
Oh, have you? You've been binging?
Yes, I've been watching it just to look at like their armor and like
just the Holy Grail.
Just the Holy Grail. That's it. Just to look at their armor and how it is. I'm going to do the rusty metal style technique on all the underbits, but I'm going to do Arthur gold because I didn't realize his chainmail's actually gold. So it's going to be a little bit of a different vibe there. The Grand Deceiver, right out the gate, I have a burning question. Okay.
See a doctor if it lasts for longer than 4 hours.
I'm really struggling with expert acrylics. I'm having trouble getting a smooth consistency and good coverage. What am I doing wrong? Ooh, great question.
How are you thinning them?
Or are you thinning them?
Because you want to use, the water on your brush to thin them. You don't have to add a ton of thinner to them, but you don't want to just slap the dry paste on the model either. They're built to not leave texture.
The Grand Deceiver says thinning with a little water.
Yeah.
So that's how you're thinning them.
Yeah, I guess help me understand where you're seeing problems then, because that's all we do here, right? And you should be getting great results. I know that sucks to hear, but when you take a little bit, you don't need a lot of paint. So it's different in that regard than using like the liquid acrylics. because with liquid acrylics, you're typically trying to load your paintbrush up with a ton and then, use it for as long as the color will come off the brush. With the expert acrylics, you don't have to put as much paint on the brush to get the same longevity and vibrancy, actually better vibrancy out of them, as you would with the liquids. So somewhere in there might be the issue you're running into.
Okay.
You'd have to help me understand more what you mean by not getting a smooth surface. And
yeah, Grand Deceiver, if you have a very specific question, he'll go into that. I know your question was a little bit broader. Okay. Grand Deceiver says, I'm using a wet palette, adding a little water to the paint. The viscosity is inconsistent and the coverage is streaky.
Viscosity is inconsistent and coverage is streaky.
Yes.
What color are you using? I'll just put some out on the palette and show you what I do with it. Because I don't think that I can answer the question with the information you're giving me, because none of that makes sense just for the way the product should behave. So it's probably something in the application technique, which I can just show you what I would do with those colors, and it'll...
A sepia over black base coat.
Okay. So one thing to realize, when you look... Here, hang on, let me finish this one area.
Yeah.
All of them have their transparency listed on the side of the paint. When dealing with the expert acrylics as a fine art paint, you're going to find much less opacity generally. And so they will have their opacity listed on the side. In the case of sepia, I believe it's transparent or semi-transparent. Let me grab it real quick.
Zilfer, what's going on?
Make sure I don't have any open edges, which I don't.
I'm going to pin that question.
All right, let's grab some sepia.
Thank you, Tapple.
I'll show you. Over black, you said.
Over black sepia?
I got something. I have something primed black right here.
Hey, is it a texture trainer?
It is a texture trainer, and here is sepia. Yeah, so sepia's opacity is T for transparent. So it will not cover over black very well.
Okay.
Because you'll have to build it up. Right, so if you're trying to do it in one coat, that could be what's giving you a big problem. Let me do the skull on the crone here. Good sepia base coat. So I'm using a dry palette, so viscosity will be very consistent for mine because I'm just going to put the paint on the palette. The way your wet palette thins will be inconsistent just by its very nature. Wet palettes aren't great at controlling moisture in a regulated manner. So however wet you run it, you'll find that the paint will be at a lower viscosity as it is thinner on the palette and less so from the thick parts. But I'm just going to add water to my brush here, right, to keep my brush damp. And then when I apply, can you zoom in close?
Yep.
Right, so when I get in here I won't even take a whole lot of paint off. So that's a lot of wet moisture and paint on my brush to give you an idea if I attack it. And this is probably what you're seeing. Right? More brush stroke. Does that look
okay
like what you're seeing?
Yep.
Well, you're answering, but I'm asking him.
Oh, I'm sorry. I would concur. That makes sense based off of what he said. Grand Deceiver says yes.
Okay, let me show you what you need to be doing. So first off, my brush being a little damp, I'll grab some paint here. I'm going to wick a bunch of it off because, again, just like any color, I'll have it over here. But, as I now go in, I will eliminate a lot of that streakiness because I don't have so much moisture on my brush. Okay, so your paint is over wet if you're seeing the streaks like this.
Over wet.
Over wet, yeah. I just had too much moisture, right? Like, because you're using a transparent paint, so everything you do is going to act like glazing.
Okay.
With this paint by itself. Okay. So as you're using the sepia, it's going to be like you're glazing. And if you have a lot of material on there, it's going to show brush strokes and things like that. So if I reduce the amount of material on my brush and then go back, I can smooth it out a little bit. It'll still have some streakiness over the black because it's causing more contrast than you want. So the real thing to do if you're using the sepia is you want to base coat something first. Sepia builds good up over like an ochre base or something like that. We tend to say use the liquid acrylics for your base coats because they have the opacifiers in them, and then use the expert acrylics as you start to layer, blend, and glaze. Right. Because that's where you keep vibrancy as you thin your paints. trying to use it as a base coat is going to give you a very slow burn buildup, right? You can see where I'm getting that sepia tone now. It's a lot smoother after I went back over it, but it's mostly the black base coat showing through.
Right.
If I let this dry, I can keep building up, but that's a waste, right? At that point, I should paint something else underneath it. Get a dark brown or something that you want. Dark umber would be really good for this. Right, so let's do that real quick. Let me grab like a good brownish color. The orange brown, green brown would be really great. But let's do umber. That way we get a filter. Right.
Tommy Front Seat, thank you so much for that sub, by the way. Appreciate it. And we appreciate you.
Why is this stuff all out of whack? Light umber, light brown, petroleum. This is the part where I ask Chris where my paint is.
Me? I didn't put it away.
This is one where, like,
Chris didn't put this away.
Where Dallas grabbed the dark umber, and it was in the exact wrong place. It was in with the grays.
Oh.
Not how that works.
Chris, no, I didn't. That wasn't me, chat.
Freaking Chris.
It wasn't me.
It was Dallas. As soon as Dallas came and painted here, all my paints were out of whack. Not all of them, but every one that he touched, he just kind of put back wherever there was an open hole.
Chris is fired again. Yes, Chaos. All right.
All right, so what I'll do here is, we've seen that, right? It's not going to give... It kind of yellows over the black, which is cool if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back with a dark umber from the liquid line, right? The liquids have the better opacity. They're meant to be opaque, except for the ones that are labeled transparent, right? We'll go back and we'll do my base coats this way.
Can you center up a little for me, Jason?
No.
Perfect.
I refuse.
Perfect. So you're going right over it, though.
What do you mean?
The sepia. I guess it was...
Yeah, dried.
Yeah. I guess you thinned it out enough for it to dry quickly.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So they have open time about like the liquid acrylics. They're not going to be more open than the liquids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our liquid acrylic, that's what makes it so great. One of the things that makes it so great is that the open time is really nice. And so they work very well with the experts. Okay, but that's enough. Well, let's do this part back here. That's the problem. I get into this and I'm like, well, why don't we just do the whole thing? Okay. So a good dark umber base coat, just thin over all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I say thin. I wasn't running it wet, right?
Dark umber. One of my favorite colors besides olive flesh. I use so much dark umber. Good story, right?
ASMR as I blow in your ear.
Imagine yourself on a beach somewhere.
Answer that question. Scroll back up. Somebody said they're having problems with the primer.
Yeah.
Said, you airbrushed on the black primer, and after 24 hours when you touched it, the primer came right off. Is it a matter of me spraying it on too thick? Yep.
There you go.
When doing primer through an airbrush of any brand, make sure you do 3 layers, and your first layer should not cover the model very much. With an airbrush, with any primer, you don't want to just cover the model in one coat. Rattle can, unfortunately, kind of causes that to happen because it outputs so much paint and you can't control that. With an airbrush, you can control it. You can feather it, right? If you're an airbrush, admittedly, you're saying you're new with the airbrush. With the airbrush, you'll find a spot on the trigger with your airbrush. We'll wait for that paint to dry and then I'll finish that, right? I don't have the compressor on or anything right now, but your trigger will pull back, right? And you'll notice that there's a little bit of play on every trigger, okay? Where you're noticing this tailstock not moving, right?
Right.
So the tailstock has to move for the needle to move, and you can see that, right? Like as I pull it back, you see the tailstock move, which is making the needle move, which means that's when you're going to get paint, right? So, but this jiggle doesn't move the tailstock and doesn't give you any paint. Every airbrush has it, okay? So you push down, you get air, and then you start pulling back, and there's that spot where it starts giving resistance, and that's where the paint happens. Practice painting right there. So what I mean by that is practice pushing for air, or if you have a pistol grip airbrush, right? The same thing is true. The pistol grip has this much play on the trigger before the tailstock moves.
Yeah.
Right? Where you feel a little bit of pressure and you can see the mechanism moving right there. But the tailstock doesn't move. And then when I get here, then when I pull, tailstock moves and the needle moves. Okay? Kind of stuck. But, so you have that play. Same on this one. All of them have it, right? That little bit of play. And then when you get stiff resistance, you know that when you pull back any further, you're going to get paint. Try practicing painting right at that point of resistance, where you go just past it and start getting paint. Practice holding your finger there and just painting and filling in that way. You won't get a lot of paint, so it will be what we call feathering, right? The amount of paint that hits. Now, if you're very close to the model, you'll get more paint built up in a small area, but if you're 2 inches or 3-4 inches away, then as you start spraying from that point right there, now you can yank it all the way back and get a lot more paint. That's what most people do. They push down, pull back. Push down, get to that point where it's, I call it the paint, no paint line, because if you go just a hair forward, there's no paint, a hair back, there's paint. Try painting right there, where it's just barely giving you paint. That's feathering.
Okay.
Practice keeping your finger right there and being able to move the brush to cover the model. Prime your model that way, right? Prime that first coat feathering to where you'll see more of the gray plastic underneath your primer than primer. And then let that, because that'll dry almost instantly. So you do the whole model with that feather, right at that paint, no paint line. You're barely getting any paint out. I mean, you're getting paint. It's not sputtering. You're getting a consistent spray, but it's not enough to fill the pattern in. Airbrushes spray in a circle, right? A cone is made, and they put paint on the model in a circle. You want to be feathering so that that circle does not become solid color unless you hold it there for a long time. It just feathers it. It just makes spotty paint, right? Do the whole model that way, right? Complete it, and then by the time you're ready to go back and do the next coat, it's all pretty much dry because you're putting so little paint out. And so then go back to that paint, no paint line and do your second coat. Your second coat starts to darken it up if you're using black primer, right? Or brighten it if you're using white. You start covering more of the gray. And do that 2 or 3 passes, generally 3 for me. Do that 3 passes, and your third pass, you go a little bit thicker, right? Just to fill in the spots, get in the underarm, in the crotch, the areas that are tougher to get to. You go a little bit thicker with the third pass to fill everything in. But then your first layers are now adhered to the model much better. They've had time to cure, and they're going to be much drier by the time you put the final coat on. What happens when you just put out a lot of paint and cover the model is that the top of the paint on the model skins over, and the layer of paint, because you can't, how to say this? Paint, when you cover a model with paint, the thicker it is, think of paint as having layers to itself. Even if you put it on in one coat, it still dries in layers. It skins over on the part that touches the air. So it forms a film, which is what the resin does, is it when it cures, it becomes a film of plastic. And so that film is created where it touches air, because that's where the evaporation is. But you still have wet paint underneath if you make it really thick. Because this paint that hit the model first had no time to dry before more paint came over the top of it and thickened it up. That paint that came over the top dries first, because whatever touches air dries first. This paint underneath is continually trying to dry, but it has nowhere for the gas to go. Scientifically, it needs to evaporate. But it's hard to evaporate when it's covered with other liquid. The bottom of the ocean doesn't evaporate first. The part at the air does. So this part evaporates and creates a shell that makes it very hard for this off-gassing, it's called, when it evaporates and all of that turns into gas. It can't get out through the shell, so it stays wet down here, okay? And as that's wet, then you've given it 24 hours, and you go back and you touch it, this top layer is skating on wet paint still. It's not going to be so wet that when you move it, it gets color on you. But you see what I'm saying? It never got a chance to adhere to the model when you put it on thick. That's true of rattle can, airbrush, every paint you've ever used. Some of the rattle cans use a different solvent, right? Like an alcohol or an enamel or a lacquer, right? That lacquer evaporates a lot quicker to create the shell, but takes a lot more time to off-gas. So it can create even worse problems, like what they call orange peel on paint, where it creates a texture and looks like it's cracking. All caused by the same exact thing. Too much paint on the surface. Do it in thin layers. Let that layer dry, another layer, let that layer dry, another layer, let that layer dry. Now, you've watched me do it here on stream, and you can do it in 10 minutes. So you don't have to do it and walk away for a day, come back. No, you can do it all at once if you do it in those thin feathered layers.
Question about the washing.
I got to do this first.
Oh, you're right, yes. I'll get to your guys' questions after this quick demo.
So now, same thing, just a damp brush. It's not really wet, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the brown has now had time to dry, and I come back over here to the sepia,
Mm-hmm.
right? And now when I put the sepia on, you're going to get a much better look at the color of sepia actually covering the model.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Right? And it's going to give you that sepia tone without all the texture.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm not turning it into a liquid. It's still a paste-like substance. But now when I'm putting it over the brown, it immediately has a better look to it. And you could then alter whatever color you want to put it over with, especially with a transparents like sepia or the nickel azo yellow. Those colors are fantastic for giving you those dirty, ruddy yellow browns if you put them over other browns or oranges or yellows, right? So you can imagine like dark ivory would brighten this up as a base coat, so you don't have to use dark umber.
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden that skull has color and depth to it as opposed to just trying to go over black, but I've still just used one coat. Now I put 2 colors on there. So always paint this way. No matter if you're using the expert acrylics or not. If you start with a black primer, don't try to slop a bright color on black. It's never a good idea. If you go talk in the art world, no artist would tell you to do that. You start with a mid-tone or a dark mid-tone, then a medium mid-tone, then a bright mid-tone, then a highlight, then a bright highlight, right? You're staging from dark colors to bright colors, not immediately putting bright colors on dark colors. We get it all the time. People are like, everybody said your white was great. I tried to use it. It sucks. Like, what were you trying to do? And they show me how they were trying to paint something white on top of a black model, and they thinned it on a wet palette. And I'm like, don't do that. Put like a mid-tone gray down first. Put like neutral gray over the black, which will cover really well, and then do the white over the neutral gray. Number one, you'll get depth because you'll have it work up from a black shadow into a mid-tone into the white, so you get a much better look, which is what you want. But it also makes you be able to waste less paint because you can cover in one coat that way.
Grand Deceiver says, OMG, I completely missed the opacity ratings on the tube and I was using it all wrong. This was all super helpful. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. That's the thing, right? The expert acrylics are new types of things for a lot of people to use. And so it's those kinds of tips that I can give that really will bring them to life for you because they are fantastic. But they will struggle if you're just painting them over a base and not using the ones like blues, the Payne's gray, things like that have more opacity. A couple of the colors like the black and the white will have an O on them for opaque. Mm-hmm. But that's what all of that is, right? To give you the ability to know how it's going to respond if you use it by itself or if you want to be underpainting with it.
And Ogre says, in case you missed it, so thank you so much. I'm glad I found the stream.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And he was asking about the what's it called? The airbrush drying and such.
Oh, yeah, not a problem. No, trust me, that's what this channel is for. We love talking about our products, and we love showing you how to paint, and I love painting models. But at the end of the day, it's to get you more confident with your painting, right? So ask away. No question is taboo here. And if you've got something that will help you get over a hurdle that you're experiencing when painting, whether you're a brand new painter or you've been doing it for 100 years,
yep,
I will try my best to get you some really good info. And we have a tremendous community of people that are willing to help out, too, if we don't have the answer. So,
Renhiv says, question about the wash medium. Is it supposed to be quite thick compared to something like Lamium medium?
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be the consistency of paint, not the consistency of thinner.
Okay.
Because the goal of the glaze wash medium is to reduce the opacity of your paint without reducing the viscosity until you also mix in water. So if you want to create a glaze, you just mix the paint with the glaze wash medium. If you want to create a wash, then you add a little bit of water to it because you'll retain that opacity and then just make it less viscous so that it flows better. Once you get that figured out, then it becomes like super simple to use because you'll just basically I do 5-to-1 glaze wash medium to paint and then a drop of water for the way I use it for glazing. And then when I want to make a wash, I do 5-to-5-to-1. So I'll do equal parts glaze wash water and then 1 part paint. And you'll wind up getting really, really great results every time. You obviously have to change that to your taste as to how you want the wash to work. If you want it to be heavier in its tinting effect, like what's its tint strength and how much color it leaves on the model, that'll be up to you. So if you want just a very light coloring, then add more of the glaze wash medium so that you reduce the opacity even further.
Panic Bomb says, serious business paint question. Why does taupe zenithal over the dark purple look so good?
Oh my God, aren't they great?
Why does it look so good?
The taupe, purple, and red trio.
It's a match made in heaven.
Is literally the triumvirate of awesome when doing undercolor priming.
I wonder if
I have been doing a lot where I do the dark purple base with then the red oxide over the top of the dark purple, and then the taupe over the top of that, and it just gives you such great depth because you get that dark, cool shadow out of the purple, a warm midtone, especially when doing things like skin models with a lot of skin. It basically does all the underpainting for you to do it that way. And then the taupe over the top gives you your value sketch in a great way. The taupe might not be bright enough for you if you're trying to do something like what we're doing here with the secret sauce, or if you're trying to use a contrast paint or something like that. Taupe is not near as bright as white, so it won't create as much contrast for underpainting for value sketching if you're using it that way, which is why I use just white on these models.
And Jeff Before Dishonor says, looking to buy some more paints. I need flesh tones for my bolt action models, Eastern European / Russian Caucasian skin tones. What color should I get?
Eastern shadow Europe. Flesh, tan flesh, maybe peach flesh. Peach flesh is fantastic.
All of the fleshes.
But yeah, I could paint all my Caucasian models with, if you wanted like burnt umber is a great undercoat for the shadow flesh that gives you a good shadow. But you could use dark umber, dark flesh, any of them. Dark flesh might be a little too red for you. Depends on how you're wanting to paint them up at the end. But the core of it will be shadow flesh, tan flesh. If you want them to be more pale. If you want them to be a little bit more tan and have more warmth in the skin, then advanced flesh tone is fantastic for that. You'll see me use all of the above in copious amounts when doing Caucasian flesh.
Rocco says, will there be a turquoise special sauce paint? There are leaks of red Corsair coming from GW today, and I'm preparing. Turquoise. Do you have like a turquoise, Jason?
We have nothing in the first lineup. I think we've got an expert acrylic turquoise coming out. I don't have anything here, but with the green and the blue, you'll be able to get really close. And with the medium, you'll be able to just mix our turquoise color in and make it happen. Just right away. The medium is fantastic and turns all of our colors into what you're looking for.
Piggybacking on the wash question, my flesh wash and brown wash dried more glossy than other standard colors. Is it poor mixing / shaking on my part, or just more of a satin finish?
It's usually mixing. So you might want to try to, depending on how long they were sat, you might want to stir it, with a toothpick or similar to make sure that they're getting the matte medium, because the matte agent will fall out of suspension first before almost even the pigment if it sits for a while. So try shaking it up a little better or stirring it. You can put a toothpick in there and stir it up if you need to. Stan,
I'm going to summarize your question here. I get what you're saying. Stan is wondering how you get that demon red color without the secret sauce paints in the regular PA line.
We had talked about that. I think that I would use something like dark flesh into red oxide and orange red, and then the Nova orange as a highlight will get you close. It won't get you exact, right? This was crimson, and we did not release a crimson. We have dark crimson, but we did not release a crimson spot on. That'll be forthcoming, but
yes, and somewhat civil, there will be a medium, a secret sauce medium that we're coming out with.
We have it here. I've shown it off. Mm-hmm. I'll maybe use some today, because the jade that we're doing on our Uroni is all done on this trim without any special sauce. That's just all our jades and turquoises, right out of the bottle. But on these, where I'm going to be doing the jade and the turquoise with the cloth on these guys, I think, then I'm going to need to create some special sauce out of that. So it'll give me
a lot of sauce.
Give me a good reason to do some testing with the medium, so I can show you all how to work.
Xenodude says, "Oh, this is a great one." Jason, maybe you could answer this. Do you have a recommended traveling?
Chris, was there somebody else who was going to answer them?
Well,
I always love how you say that. You say, Jason, maybe you could answer this one.
Let me rephrase this.
It's you present it in a way that's like we have a panel of people here. Jason, it's like, no, this one's for Jason in specific. There's like only 2 of us here, Chris.
I went ahead in my thought.
Okay.
I'm asking, I know what Xenodude is asking here, but I want you to give me a longer answer for this. Do you have a recommended traveling painting setup? I have some business travel coming up and want to put together a kit I bring on my trips. What do you not leave the house with if you're limited, Jason?
First is my go bag. Do you have a go bag?
The Neo, the big go bag, it's up to you, but they're both amazing.
We make a bag for that, so I hope that you have one.
Mm-hmm.
The go bag is the key. As far as colors, then the Neo lets me take 48.
Yep.
Which is generally perfect for when I'm traveling.
Okay.
The Evo does 96, right? So it's double. So the Evo is the great convention touring bag because you never know what you're going to be painting. If you know what your project is, then the easiest answer is start with the colors in your project.
Okay.
And add all the ones that you plan on using. That sometimes can go awry for me because I'll wind up like, I didn't bring that color because I didn't think I'd need it. And then I sit down and I'm like, it'd be really cool right here. And then I'm kind of screwed. But by and large, that's where I start.
Okay. What do you take alongside that? What are the paints you normally take for, I would say generally for any project, if you had to make like 10?
If I had to pick 10 colors?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That would just travel with me, that would always be in that kit so I could do whatever I want?
Always in that bag.
Oh, wow.
What are those 10 colors?
My favorite base colors, so for me it would be the likes of like dark purple Payne's Gray, dark jade, dark sea Ben, dark flesh, advanced flesh tone, probably one of the dark umber, black brown. I probably want a dark color that is representative of each of the hue families. So a brown, a gray, gray black, so coal black, dark neutral gray, yellow. So I probably want yellow ochre, orange, so burnt orange. So go through every color family, red, burnt red, mahogany, something like that, and pick a dark one. And then pick a mid-tone for each of those color families, too. That'll get you at least 10. And then you just need like 2 or 3 tint colors. I would always take a white just in case. And then I would probably take bright pale yellow and white blue. Those are the only 2 you really need.
Why is that?
Because you can put the bright pale yellow into any of your warm colors like red to highlight it. And you can put the white blue into all of your cool colors like greens and blues. The bright pale yellow will obviously highlight its own family of color in yellows, but it's great for highlighting reds. So if you have a dark red and a medium tone red, then you've got a red triumvirate that you can paint with that'll do anything you need it to. When I'm traveling, I'm never trying to think about what I need to finish a project unless I have to finish a project while I'm traveling. I'm trying to think of the colors that allow me to get a project to 75% very easily.
Okay.
So I want shades, midtones, and something to mix in for a highlight. Now, if you want to buy a Go Bag Evo and you want to travel with 96 colors, then you take the ones you love.
Yes.
And you take all of them.
Yeah.
For the longest time, we only had like 90 some odd color, 92 colors. And so for me, it was like, I take everything. Right now we have 144,
right,
not including mediums. So, and that's only growing. So now there's no more of that, I take everything. No, I have to pick and choose now unless I want to take 2 Evos, which isn't going to happen because I'm lazy.
Peak says, which was your favorite / best mini that was a joy for you to paint and remember fondly?
I don't. This
Also,
is the hardest question in the world,
which
and the reason is
is
because I've been
yeah,
painting for over 45 years,
that's a long one.
and I don't even know what to answer that question with. Every now and then I go existential or that hippy dippy stuff, and I say, you know what? It was probably that Battle Master from Raoul Partha Minis back when I was 12 years old or 13 years old that won me my first ever painting competition at the science fiction show, Star Trek sci-fi show, where we did a BattleTech tournament. There's that I could say because I still remember that many very vividly. I know exactly what won me the competition. I did the reflective shine on the it had a pill shaped cockpit on the old Battlemaster, and
Yeah.
the judge said, "You won because you put the shine on the cockpit," and so I remember that. And so there's those types of things. If you ask me anything else, because really the people ask me what my favorite color is, it's the one I'm painting with.
Sure.
People ask me what my favorite mini is, and most of the time it's the one I'm painting.
Because you are a rule of cool. So,
I'm a rule of cool guy. We only paint minis I like on the show.
which answers
It's
the
very
second part
rare
of
that I'm
question.
painting something that I could care less about, and I can't remember the last time we did that.
Hmm.
It doesn't mean I don't get burnt out on minis while I'm painting them.
Totally different subject, right? Where you just like you don't hate that mini, you're just wanting.
I'm
to
just
move
tired
on.
of the
Yeah.
colors or whatever, right? My Blood Angels, I'm tired of painting Blood Angels right now, so we're not painting Blood Angels. Because for months it was like, oh, let's paint more non-metallic gold on Blood Angels.
Non-metallic gold.
And eventually you just get kind of burnt out if you're not careful. So, but minis that were like my favorite, that's such a tough one.
That's a tough one.
It is. It really is such a hard thing to
All of them.
to talk about because I'm like, I just love painting. And so they all are rad. Now that being said,
You're really enjoying Conquest right now.
I'm loving these. Yeah,
But-
these are great.
But
I'm
every time you do
using
that-
these as a way to test out the special sauce
Yeah.
paints. So that's being fun too because I'm really enjoying the process as we get the formulation dialed in on these paints. It's giving me the excitement of creation and not only the creative process with regard to painting, but the creative process with creating a product. And those kind of like my two favorite things combined whenever we come up with new paints.
Mhm.
So that's helping me enjoy these a lot more. What else?
I have a Ruckett says I have a serious business paint question. I picked up some metallics for steel. Should I put that over any specific color? I've been having an elf army of an ethereal feeling. If that helps, magnesium.
Well, yeah, steel over magnesium is great.
All of our metallics over
we are suckers
I
for
love
putting all of our metallics over magnesium here. Magnesium is such a great color for both white metals like steel, silver, that kind of stuff, and yellow metals, your golds, bronzes, even copper. It's such a great foundation layer. Now, steel is a great mid-tone color and would look great over magnesium. You can also just do dark silver. If you wanted to use a non-metallic color under steel, dark blue or Payne's gray works really well. If you want it to be kind of clean and shiny.
I use Payne's gray and
Blue
then
is
I
great.
dry brush steel for most of my trim on my Titan.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's a good way to make metal look cleaner. The blue gives it a clean feel. And if you want to do the opposite, then burnt orange underneath it can make it feel dirty and rusty. We've got a link that we can show you that takes you to our dry brushing quick rust effects. And but you don't have to dry brush that. You could still do a very similar technique with brush painting and underpainting, or your steel with the oranges, and you'll get that warmer tone.
Source has a question. Source says, how do I know what is a warm color or a cold color? That's kind of a very foundational question.
Yeah, your warm colors, the easy ones are yellow and magenta are your warm colors. If you break it down into, the color wheel, right? You've got cyan, magenta, and yellow. Those are your three primaries. Everything else, every other color is made from those, right? And then plus white and black, because unlike light, you don't get white by mixing any colors together. Much to the chagrin of TikTok with all the AI stuff that tries to show you can mix three colors together and get white. You can't do it. So you need white and black. Although you can get a chromatic black by mixing all of your colors together. But I typically, a CMYK is what we're talking about. So you want white, black, and then cyan, magenta, yellow. So you start with 2 warm colors there in magenta and yellow. And that's the easiest way for me to tell you, right? Because you just think about it from the term of the definition of the word. Which of those colors look warm to you and bring warmth in? Like what color does the sun light things? Yellows, right?
Yeah.
So yellow is your warm color, your warm spectrum, and then leading into red and with the magenta are your warm side of the things. So you got 2 warm colors and 1 cool one in cyan. Now, as you learn the color wheel and you start thinking about, okay, what does it take to make a green? Well, cyan and yellow start making green. So what is green then if it has a warm color and a cool color in it as its 2 primary mixing components? Well, green can be either, because green, if it leans towards yellow, can be a warm appearing color. And if it leans more towards a blue, then it can be a cooler color. So you start to have you control what is a warm and cool version of certain colors by how you mix them or by how I mix them if I make one for you, you know. Black green is a cooler green, whereas yellow green is a warmer green in our line.
Yeah.
Reds, warm. Can you get cooler reds? You can cool off a color, but you would never have a red that feels icy, right? You wouldn't have an ice red. Red will always have more warmth than a ice style color, you know. But you can cool it off by desaturating it, by turning reds, mixing them with blues and going towards purple, right? Your magenta and your blues get you into the purples, plums, right? Those colors can be either cool or warm. A lot of the time that is dependent upon what they sit next to. If you put purple next to a cool blue, you know, like sky blue with purple next to it, then the purple looks very warm. Make sense? Starting to track?
Yes.
That's how all that works.
I'm answering yes as in the collective yes. From the
Yeah, that's how all that works, is you're really talking about it in terms of how it appears versus the other colors in a composition. Like right now, my black is very cool because it has a blue tone to it.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas my green is very warm because I based it with that yellow, and all my highlights popping through are yellow. Right? So now I have a good balance on this model as it sits between cool and warm. And a lot of times, as you get better at picking, you're more confident in terms of picking colors on a model, you'll make a decision early. Do I want the model to just be warm? Like you think about demon flesh, like Angron, World Eaters. You know, in the 40K universe, they got red armor with bronze and brass trim. And then he's a demon with red skin. And so now you have a model that's all reds and yellows. And so it's just going to be warm. So that's where it can be a little bit monotonous and make a project not look great. And you have to be thinking all the time, okay, what could I add to help balance that out? And every time I say balance the temperature on a model, a lot of people think, well, I'm not going to paint Angron with half blue. No, what I mean is just to balance it out with little bits of cooler tones, which is why if I were painting Angron, I would start him with like dark blue or dark purple as an undertone, because that will cool your reds off, right?
It'll cool your reds off.
Yeah. Your reds become cooler if you start them with purples or blues, right? That's the whole idea of doing the...
I mean, your Blood Angels are like
the
that.
Blood Angels, right? So let me grab... Where's my test guy? Here it is. Right? So Blood Angels very similar in terms of warmth. Lots of warmth, red and yellow. Right, because I'm using yellow for all of my non-metallic gold, and then of course they're red. But my reds start with Payne's gray. So when you look in the shadows, my Payne's gray is a cool blue, or a neutral cool blue, right? Meaning that it doesn't look as blue as the flame on the backpack, right? But you get this cool color, so it's there. You lose warmth as you go into the shadows, which is the way the world works. It gets cooler as you go into the shadows, right? On a hot day, go under a tree, cool off, right? So shade needs to be cool color in a typical sense. You can break that rule if you want, but that's where I would start, especially with warm colors. So I have a cooler shadow, warmer reds, and then where I can, I choose like my lightning calls are going to be blues. That makes sense, lightning. But then my neutral steel stuff, I don't have a tone to it. It's just neutral grays, and it has a little bit of it probably has the Payne's gray backdrop to it, right? So that'll keep that cool. So it offsets. So little places like that, I go away from cool colors, right? And then of course, when I do stuff like the jetpack burn, I did it like a very low gas flame on your pilot light, because he's not flying. It's just sitting there ready to go. So I treated all the jetpacks like, pilot lights, and a little bit of steel thrown in every now and then inside the gold, even though that isn't great fashion sense. It just helps cool things off. The white helmet on this particular veteran is great because white is a neutral color. White and black are dead set neutral. They're not warm, they're not cool, but they will cool off or warm up compositions. If you have, now white won't warm anything up. If you put white with blue, it just gets colder, right? Because in its neutrality, it has a little bit of a play there, but it definitely cools off my red too, Yep. Even with the warm gray undertones. So that's the way I think when I paint. Not every model has to be that way. You can have models that are just completely warm when you do like monochromatic, paint jobs. You can do, like Imperial Fists are going to be warm because they're freaking yellow, right? It's 95% yellow. And then, I did a warm brown on the holster and just, leaned into it. And the only thing that cools this model off, because I did red bolter and chainsword, is the steel, right? All the steel bits are the only thing that balance it out. And it works because it's intended and it's intentional. And people look at it and they go, yep, Imperial Fist, great. I get it.
Papa Chicken has a follow question for it.
If you ask me if things are cooler in the shadow, because we think of things from the perspective of a yellow sun. If you're on an alien planet or whatever, and we have a star of a cooler color, would the shadows then be warm? So the warmth is the sun on your face. On this alien planet, is it frigid because the sun offers no warmth? Because then no. If the color and temperature of the sun changes to a cooler tone, like a blue dwarf or whatever, and so your light is more of a white light, right? And you lose the yellow spectrum in your light perception for vision in that spectrum of vision on that planet. You don't have yellow to work with, so you wouldn't have warm colored shadows, because where would the color come from to warm that up? If you lose warmth, you become completely cool, and that's the storytelling. So if I'm under a blue sun that doesn't have a whole lot of warmth and none of that frequency of light exists, then it's all just going to be cool. Because temperature-wise, it's still going to cool off in the shadows. And so I would move to a more frigid. It's like when doing Space Wolves. Now, could you use something like purple and have the shadows be warmer? Sure. For the composition of your model, I think that would be great. It's like the polar bear we painted, right? The war bear. We did him with royal purple shadows.
Yeah.
Why? Just because it looks cool. Because I don't like models that are just strictly cool colors. We also have the non-metallic gold, and I did that with the burnt orange style non-metallic, so it's a lot darker, right?
Yeah.
And gives more warmth there too. And then the jade sits in the middle. Jade's a great color because it kind of can warm and cool things up both, depending on where it's at. Like, it's warmer against the blue and white here, but the purple still plays a really good part here. So I would do something like this. But the way you're stating it, would the shadows be warm? No. I mean, not temperature-wise and not color-wise on purpose, I don't think, because you wouldn't have the light frequency to make that color if your sun doesn't give it out. That makes sense?
Yeah.
If you strip the frequency of yellow light out of the environment, then you can't do the colors that, well, now in light, you're talking about RGB creating colors, but you've taken some of that frequency out, so now you can't have the mixes of those frequencies of light, and those wavelengths don't show up. So you would lose a lot of your visible spectrum if you didn't have a sun that put that light out. Do you have any advice for painting very small details? I'm having issues with getting fine lines or dots on small details. I use a magnifier headpiece.
And then he says, what about brush size, and what do you load your paint with? So overall, how do you approach
This is a great
small
question
details?
because we talk about this a lot, and one of the big things is to make sure that you're controlling the amount of moisture on the brush, because I can typically do details with any size brush. Now, that said, I'm painting with a number 6 brush for a lot of what we're doing today, but a number 6 will still make a nice point, right? So I could do fine details with it. Let's grab some paint. I don't have any more color out here. Let me grab some burnt red. Right. So if you're and magnifying glass is just a matter of vision. Can you see what you're trying to paint or not? And I applaud. Obviously, I use readers, right? So I've got my 1.5 magnification readers. And then if I dip my paint into, or I dip my brush into the paint, and I get a gunner on the side of the brush here, right? So if let me do it a little bit more exaggeratedly. So if I just go and get a lot of paint like I get from the palette normally, and I start painting with that, it's going to take a much lighter touch to get a fine line because there's so much paint that as soon as you bend the brush, more paint wants to flow off. So if I take a very fine, let's try to not paint over hair. Like if I take a very light touch, then I can get this number 6 to pull a pretty steady and thin line, and I can taper it out to nearly nothing. Okay? So I can do pretty fine details. I can stipple with this, right? So I can do various texturing, whether it's teeny tiny stippling, or I can load into an area as well and, do my blending this way, however I want to do it, right? I can do it all with a number 6, but I have to be controlling my hand pressure very well because I have so much paint on this, right? So if I slip just a little bit, boop, I can get a whole lot of paint because it's loaded up with too much paint. So if I take a bigger brush and I wick off a lot of the moisture before I start painting so that now it's more controllable, now I can press harder and still get a really consistent thin line, right? I have to press harder now to get paint to come off, so it may be that you have more hand pressure and you need to watch how much paint you put on the brush. Like right now I have to press a lot harder to get the same opacity of my stippling, right? Because I have less paint flowing off the brush while I do it. I still get paint, so you may need to adjust how much paint is on your brush based on how heavy your hand is. If you have a very light hand, then you can load your brush up with more paint because you're going to take the time and effort to be very careful with your and with intent to do your fine lines, right? I can paint very, very light and just barely get the tip of the brush to go on there. So you get a pretty consistent thin line even out of a big brush with a lot of paint on it, right? If you have a heavier hand and you feel like when you hit it, you're bending the brush more like this, then you need to have less paint on the brush so that when you bend it, you still only get the paint at the width of the bristle and with the expectation of size that you're trying to do. Make sense?
Yeah. So, and then can you talk a little bit about the amount of paint on your brush?
That's what I just did. You wick a bunch of it off based on your hand pressure.
Is it, and what about the moisture? That's what I'm going for. It's
the same thing.
It's okay.
Moisture is the paint on the brush.
Yeah.
Now, moisture going over into the paint is all indicative of how you want to paint. How do you want opacity or low opacity?
Yeah. Okay.
More water is lower opacity with the paint because you thin the paint on the brush. If your brush already has water and then it puts paint into it, then it thins that paint. That's just how I paint. So the less water you have on your brush, the more opacity you get out of the paint.
Red Green, I think that answers your question fully. Rocco, there's a bunch of different painting light recommendations, but you can hit me up in Discord and I can give you some recommendations. But a good bright light, always having bright light, always helps for taking photos.
Yes. Yes.
Videos, photos, anything like that. It really does depend on the space too. That's kind of a very broad, you could answer that question 1,000 ways.
Yes. Okay, I think I want the cloth on these guys to be the turquoise.
The turquoise?
I think.
Okay.
Up against the green?
Yeah.
Rather than the red? I think the red
s-
becomes too Christmassy.
Somebody was asking about a turquoisey color.
Yeah, that's why I think that's what we'll do.
That's perfect.
And we'll use
trying to
because
remember
we
who
were
said
talking about using the special sauce medium
Right.
to accomplish this.
Oh, yes. So turquoise. What about dark turquoise?
Well, I got to match the jade, Chris. We're matching. This is what we're doing.
But what about dark turquoise?
You ever have that feeling somebody doesn't listen to you?
No. I hear you. I
always
see
wonder
you.
if Chris and I got really good gifts at our wedding.
What? Okay. Here's what I would say. Dark turquoise
I've stopped listening to him years
is
ago.
one of my favorite colors.
Except in chat if you stop listening to Chris too.
I like dark turquoise. Sue me.
I have special sauce medium.
So
Travel Cedric T. Schmidt.
we're gonna use dark turquoise, right?
Yep,
Okay.
Jade.
Here's what I will say.
So we did dark jade as a base for this. Or no, we did just regular jade.
I would like to actually see dark turquoise at some point with the medium.
We did jade, turquoise, and then
turquoise more like jerkoise. Thank you,
then,
Jeff.
Or we did.
Thank you, Jeff.
What did we do?
I don't know. I think it was dark turquoise.
We did jade, dark turquoise, and then turquoise.
Okay, you did use dark turquoise.
Yeah, but the base will be jade because that's what you do.
God, this little fly. I got it. Hey, I like dark turquoise.
Jade.
I know. I know. Jade and turquoise makes the most beautiful teal, says Darth. I'm sure. Sue me. I'm letting Jason do whatever he wants, man.
Which is the way.
That's just
This
let him
is
fly.
the way.
I do stand by my dark turquoise comment though, because I love dark turquoise. It's one of my favorite colors, Jason. Get me all excited talking about.
I'm gonna call this 2-to-1 medium to paint. I'm basically telling you that so I can cut Chris off.
I can hear it. You know what? You don't need me today. I understand. It's not one of those days.
It's not one of those.
Nope.
days.
Not today.
Chris, you've been doing a great job
Hey,
with
thanks,
the questions
Jason.
from chat. It gets a little off the rails when you start in on choosing my colors for me.
No, I was making a legit question. I thought it was dark turquoise.
Are you implying that I forgot how I painted my model?
No, somebody was asking earlier, hey, what would dark turquoise be under this? Or somebody was asking about turquoise with the medium. And so I'm like, oh, okay.
It'll be the same as this jade.
Yeah.
Be fun. Great.
I
Thanks
quit.
for playing.
I do what I don't know, chat. This is it for me.
This is it for me.
We're doing jade and the medium.
Well, this is what the color workup is.
I know.
I
I
need
was
you guys to
trying to
just
say
chill out.
do something different.
I.
We were so
It's
close.
the big one, chat.
It's the big one?
It's the big one. You ever watch Sanford Son?
No.
This is the big one.
It's the big one. I do know that term. Is that where it comes from?
Red Fox?
Nope.
Ugh.
Dark turquoise?
Yeah. Jade. All right, here we go.
All right.
That's how this works, chat. And just slop it on the way we do.
You said it's 2-to-1?
Yeah, about 2-to-1 medium to paint in this regard. Would be the guess. The medium is little magic. Any color instantaneously turns into the paint of your dreams. You really do have a bad case of the sniffles today. You feeling all right?
No. My
Is
allergies
it
are
hay
pretty bad.
fever or cold?
Maybe I'm dying.
Oh,
I think it's death. I
It's
think
death?
that's what it is. I think I am slowly decaying
did the
into
Reaper come for you?
my 90s.
Well,
No. I'll be honest, I got 0 sleep last night.
why?
My allergies have been killing me. So hopefully it's not the big one for me.
Is the 0 sleep because of allergies?
A little bit. I've been pretty stuffed up, so I'm struggling today, chat.
Sorry to hear that.
Hey,
Breathing is necessary.
I gotta
Chris.
bring my breathe strips. I truly do not like sniffling into stream. It's one of my pet peeves, so I truly don't like doing that. So I'm
not worried about the sniffling into the microphone.
I am.
Oh.
I care, Jason.
Oh,
I don't
here
want to
we go.
make people just like hear that all day.
I put a lot of wetness on this to test and see how it works, and very, very impressive on how it flows.
All those lies catching up paint liquor. I don't know what to do with you, chat. You exhaust me. but you fuel me all at the same time. It's a weird, weird, beautiful love. Dave Mathis, sincere question about the secret sauce medium and mixing with regular paints. Are there any things to look out for when mixing mediums into paints that already have different medium? Oh, interesting.
How do you mean? As long as your solvent is the same, meaning water in water-based paint, water is the solvent. As long as the solvent is the same, you don't have to worry a whole lot. It should work great. Now, could there be other additives to a paint that I don't know about? A lot of people ask me about like Mission paints. I don't know this brand very well. And they use like some, I think they have maybe they have alcohol in them. I don't know. So you might find that like if you go to use one of our mediums in a paint that has, you know, a dual solvent or some other chemical in it, or way too much of a chemical to make it act the way it does, that you wind up with, you know, weird goings-ons. So I always say test, because I cannot, by any means, go and test every paint out there. But with our line, water-based paint and water-based mediums work fantastic. Look at that.
Nice.
It's almost like I know what I'm doing. It's too bright. So I'm going to have to maybe figure that out. Maybe not. On the knee, it's just because the knee is all white. So that part's a little rough.
I like it.
It looks good. And I'm slopping a bunch on here, as you can tell. I don't ever paint with this much material, so having my brush loaded with this much paint and just kind of moving it around is scary. Not my modus operandi.
What about secret sauce, says Red Green, and expert acrylics? Could you even do that? I guess.
I mean, yeah, you can. You can also turn expert acrylics into airbrush paints. I do not know why you would.
It's kind of not the tool.
Yeah, it's not the tool, because you're gonna have to turn the expert acrylics into liquid first, right? So, and by doing so, you're already going to be, now you could use this medium to do a lot of that, I guess, right? But you dilute the paint so much that you don't get much out of it. And there's a couple of colors in there that are defined enough that you're like, yeah, but I really want Nicolazzo yellow. And it's like, okay, granted, you're not going to get that color directly out of the normal line. So that part I understand. But it is going to be very tough, because remember, dilution lowers opacity. So turning the expert acrylics that are already lower opacity into a liquid lowers their opacity further, right? And now you may get it to where they're not going to build up the vibrancy you want. So worth a try. Never say never.
Hey, never say never.
Wait a minute.
Wait a second.
Didn't we just say never?
Never say never.
While we said never?
Speaking of never.
Is that what that's about, Chris? My whole life have I been,
I think that's what it
fooled?
Never. Well,
am I?
It's kind of like Siths deal in absolutes. Technically, that's an absolute, isn't it? Obi-Wan says that to Anakin. Only the Sith deal in absolutes, and that's an absolute, technically.
Yes.
So, take that, Obi-Wan. Aye, aye, Jow. Aye, aye, Jow.
If we start using Star Wars
I won't.
as any kind of
I only know that
moral compass.
I only know that because my English teacher in 8th grade always said that line. He's like,
oh, really?
Oh, yeah. He thought it was the funniest thing. And he's like, what is going on? This is Star Wars. How are you making this English mistake? That was his big thing. Which, to be fair, to quote Baby J.
Oh, don't. Now you're really.
No, that's.
Have you lost
Baby
your
J's
mind?
catchphrase. To be fair. That's Baby J's catchphrase. Panic Bomb says, but he did have the high ground. That's true. That's not Obi-Wan's fault. It's George Lucas' direction. Hey, tomato.
You know Obi-Wan is fake. just gonna throw that out there.
Jason.
You know, there's no Obi-Wan.
What are you talking?
There's also no Santa Claus.
Whoa.
I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news.
Whoa.
I don't mean to bear bad news. You know, there's no Santa Claus, don't you?
For all of you out there, don't listen to Jason. I don't know. I'm not ruining Christmas for anybody because Santa is real, kids.
You know about that Santa.
Jason, this is a family show. You don't know who's watching. I'm so sorry to all of the parents out there who just had to give that stare to their kid. But Daddy. Don't listen to Jason. We'll get Santa on the stream to prove my point. We'll get Santa in there. Somewhat civil says, kids in the room, man. And that's what I'm saying. Don't listen to Jason, kids. Well, listen to Jason about the paint stuff. Santa, give him a call. Give him a letter. Whatever you want to do. You can't call Santa. He's too busy.
That's exactly what Santa would say is what you're supposed to say.
What?
Well, that's exactly what Santa would say, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe that's true.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing everybody he didn't exist.
Wow. Santa's not the devil, kids.
Oh, now I got it.
We're so off the rails. Santa's not the devil. Welcome in, everybody.
Hey, you know what? There is a book in that statement.
Santa's not the devil.
Yeah, there's a book in that statement.
That's the auto.
What if?
That's your autobiography right there.
What
Jason.
if
Santa's not the devil?
What if Santa, good old Saint Nick, good old jolly Saint Nick, was Lucifer?
Oh my, kids, start painting early. That's what I'm going to tell everybody's kids. Don't listen to Jason. Santa, Satan, same letter, says Panic Bomb.
You can't say not to listen to me.
Don't listen to Jason about Santa stuff.
Oh, okay. You got specific on that one. Okay.
Yes. Listen to Jason all the time about painting, not about the Santa stuff.
No, I literally always follow that up with that's exactly what Santa would say.
That's what Santa would say.
He doesn't want you to know he exists.
And then he gives you a big wink. See what we did there? We saved it, kids. If you're a child watching this, welcome in.
I do not believe in Krampus, though. Krampus scares me.
Mo just said that would kind of explain the whole Krampus thing.
Yeah, the Krampus thing scares the hell out of me. Like, that comes from a very darker time in human history.
That's true.
Where we needed to scare children to keep them in line. I think we might need to go back there, actually.
I'm good.
Well, you're not a kid anymore.
At heart, we're all kids, aren't we?
Hopefully your parents don't have to tell you stories about how if you're not good, Krampus is going to come throw you in a sack.
That's what my parents
disappear
tell me.
you.
That's true.
You know, there's just this whole narrative of kids being kidnapped through time, like the whole Pied Piper thing.
It's not a fun subject, Krampus, right?
No,
it's not. So here's what we've learned today: Santa, real TBD. Krampus, not real. There you go. That's my reality. Santa, TBD? Question mark? I don't know. That story's yet to be told. Hey, but speaking of stories that have yet to be told, come on, you got this.
Welcome, everybody.
We are so glad you're all here. I'm Christopher. This is Jason. We're Monument Hobbies. All the stuff you see Jason using here is a massive tease, technically.
It is really, actually.
But you can expect this. Somebody was asking earlier. Our plan is to release this at Adepticon.
Yeah.
That is the plan. The
12
first
colors
12
at
colors.
Adepticon.
Right. So, saddle up your wallets. I guess.
Don't saddle your wallet up.
Saddle your wallet up. Get ready. It's going to be a big Adepticon. I have a question, says Bear Paw Miniatures. The black with special sauce armor you did last week. What colors would you say mimic that in the regular line?
Obviously, like coal black or a carbon black base. The blue black is what I used to achieve the look on its own, or the where it light is in the lighter areas, right? Where it was doing its contrasty thing. And blue black works really well. And then white blue with the blue black gives you the same general effect. And it's fantastic. Very similar to how you've seen me do other black armor or non-metallic metal, just leaning heavier into the black base coat and using the blue-black very thin to go over that.
Yes, negative. Technically, the colors he's using are a tease because we're showing them off early to you guys. But yes, these will be coming out, hopefully. And by hopefully, I mean get ready, Adepticon.
And what I'm doing right now is the medium that will also be available. 12 colors plus the medium at Adepticon.
Okay. So
the medium allows you to take any color in your collection from any water-based paint.
Yeah.
I would assume most water-based paints will work pretty well with this. I will not guarantee that it works great with all the other manufacturers, but we haven't done anything to make it not work. Let me say it like that. Okay?
Yeah.
But in theory, it should work great with just about any water-based acrylic.
Spaznut says, when can retail stores order the special sauce and they will come out with paint stripes to put on the paint rack?
Yeah, they'll come out with the rack strips. The answer on that is still up in the air.
We'll let you guys know.
I'm looking at somewhere in May for street date. And that means that, the standard 30 days ahead of that, if we can muster it, will get you the pre-order time for retail stores. So we try our hardest to make sure that our retail partners get a pre-order window ahead of street date so that they can have it as on the shelf at the store as close to release date as possible. We don't always hit it right on the nose. Sometimes we're sooner, so that sometimes retailers have got the product before it's on our website.
Yeah.
But that's never a guarantee.
We'll also let you guys know for the EU, because I saw someone had an EU question in there too. We will make sure that everybody is well informed once we get those dates locked in.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out on socials, emails, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Doghouse has a question. I came across an airbrush issue. Was working on painting and pre-shading my Gundam kits and kept getting tip dry in my Iwata HPC. Tried to thin with water and glaze and wash, but kept getting tip dry and clogging the nozzle. I tried Noosh to give me more working time, and it worked better. What's the best way to stop tip dry? Ooh, great question.
What PSI? Are you using a very high PSI? Are you up around like 30, 28, 30? Turning your PSI down whatever level you're at might help, because you're putting, if you're like me and you're feathering a lot and not hammer down, usually you don't get as much tip dry if you just pull the trigger back and you're spraying lots of paint, but we only do that.
What's tip dry?
Tip dry is where you get a little bit of dried paint on the tip of the needle.
Oh, okay.
And that happens because you're putting more air than paint out. Okay.
Oh.
Or you're doing that thing where some people will do a lot of press down and get air, right? And then you pull back, so you're pressing down and you've got air and you're kind of lining up the shot, and then you add paint to it, and then you let go and you have air, so you're blowing a lot of air across the top of the needle without a lot of paint.
Yeah.
So the air is drying the paint to the needle. And that's the biggest culprit. So turning your PSI down might help you. Making sure that every time you do air, you immediately do paint after it, right? You get used to doing that kind of one hit to where you're air paint all at the same time. So if you paint like this, a lot of people, you'll see them pulsing, right? So they kind of pulse their paint. That keeps tip dry from happening as much, because then you don't ever have air without the paint in it. So that can help. 23 should be good. That's what I run mine at.
That's what Doghouse said, 23. I got the whole Pro Acryl paints, including the Signature Series paint, but didn't get the amp set. Are they worth it, or are they similar colors to other sets?
No, none of the colors are similar.
It's always worth it. And also, they're amazing colors. If you haven't picked up the amp set, I use those colors all the time.
Yeah, they are not the same colors by any stretch. They have arguably two of the greatest washes in them, in the magenta and the Payne's gray.
And you use a 3-point needle for all your stuff, even priming?
Everything. Well, no, I use a 0.2 for detail work sometimes. We have a 0.3 and a 0.2 in the studio here.
But mainly for priming, you do
0.3. Yeah.
You don't ever do like a 0.5?
No. We used to. We used to have a Badger that we had gotten eons ago that came with a 0.5.
Yeah.
That's just the way it came. I didn't realize it came that way when I bought it, I don't think. And and I just stuck with it for priming. It worked pretty good, but it put out a lot of paint with a 0.5. So
Stan says, can you ask Jason if he prefers a synthetic brush for applying this type of paint? I notice he's using a pro synthetic.
we don't make a Sable 6.
Yeah. Oh.
So a lot of it is size,
There you
right? Sable 6 would cost too much for what I use it for. So yeah, I typically am using synthetics for this kind of stuff because I'm using a big brush to layer it on. But you can use Sables. There's no reason not to. It will get into the ferrule quicker because, it's a lower viscosity paint. So you do need to be aware of that. So you need to be cleaning your brushes religiously through it. Not like Uncle Jason here, who hasn't cleaned a brush in years.
I do not clean Jason's brushes.
Here we go.
But
he did that.
Maybe I should commit.
I didn't bring it.
Jason, would you like me to do that for you?
I didn't bring it up. You brought it up.
No, I'm asking you, Jason, here publicly amongst the people.
You brought this up.
Do you want me to clean your brushes going forward in 2026?
No.
Wow.
Don't touch my stuff.
Golly. There you have it, folks. I won't do it. You heard him. I won't.
Don't touch my stuff.
Rucket, I won't. I am a good employee, and I won't do the cleaning of the brushes. New year, new Chris. False, Panic Bomb. Lumberjack, do your job, Chris. That's not my job. Commit to the bit. Defresh. No. I shan't. Brent, correct.
He has committed to the bit. The bit is that he doesn't do his job.
You can clean my brushes, Chris. T. Schmid, false. I'm going to answer all of these just as they're coming. Just take them home and throw them in the dishwasher. Jeff, before Dishonored, I shan't do that. Thank you. Going back to Brent's comment. Asking tough question there. I won't do it. Chris doesn't work. False, Lumberjack.
He works a lot.
Keep it bringing. Keep these coming. I do need to soak that palette of yours. But
I wasn't going to mention it.
Technically, you're still on the Conquest project.
I mean, I'm going to be on the Conquest project for a year. So do I just not get a clean palette for a year? Is that what you're telling me?
Tomato. No, I'll get you a clean palette, you filthy animal. No, I'll get it. I already have one. He's finally reading chat. Lumberjack, false. I read chat all the time. Chris works hard to be lazy. Doghouse, that's kind of funny. Did you try unplugging him and plugging him back in?
Who, Chris?
Me? Panic Bomb, you're talking to Lumberjack. False. No, Jason C. Craze palette auction. No, I can't do that. Because if you notice, the only reason why I got that palette thing before is because now if you see Jason's technique, you're all over the palette, which is great. Back when it was just one massive sheet, you kept it in certain areas because you didn't clean it. So now he can see where he's painting. Isn't that right, Jason?
I am not listening.
You are listening.
I actually wasn't. I don't know what you're talking about.
Chris is back to abusing you because you're older, Jason. Jason is not older than me.
I am way older than
he is not older than me.
So Chris is in his 30s. Don't let him fool you.
False. Spotify would say different.
He's in his 30s. He just listens to music like a 90-year-old. Which I find laughable.
Why?
Because I think you're a cooler guy than that.
I love soundtracks, though.
But it's not the soundtracks that did that.
It really was, actually. That's what I looked it up. That's what that genre was. Because I listened to so many of those style of soundtracks this year. That's why I got docked that way.
I love it. You got docked.
I did,
like
man.
It was like a hit to your social credit score.
I totally did, man. I got docked.
I think that when dating, that information needs to be public.
I think that's the bit, though, because then I can use that at the date, and it's hilarious.
Right? I think that's a good talking point.
I get the bit. That's fine. For dating, I got the comedy down fine. And I'm an old soul, I guess.
That's like the worst thing to say to anybody.
An old soul?
But I'm an old soul.
I do.
You're a 20-something with absolutely no experience. Thanks.
I would
Thanks
say
for playing.
A lot of 20-year-olds say that. It annoys me.
Yes.
I have Spotify, unfortunately.
I've been told I'm an old soul.
I've been told by Spotify I'm old as crap. apparently.
That was Spotify AI.
Oh, that's true. No, somebody at Spotify pulled up my records like,
There's a human at Spotify that did this to you.
Well.
Well, it's Christopher again.
This guy looks like he might be old. I have a profile picture. I'm a young man.
Oh, I love it.
Oh man.
I miss some gut skin here.
No.
Infuriates me.
PK, it was actually the Revenant soundtrack. That's what I listened to a lot of.
It was the Revenant
but
soundtrack.
It got me
That's
in
what
the
did it to me.
zone. I did more painting than I ever did this year than I've ever done before. So, sue me. I'm not allowed to say that phrase anymore. I've said it 3 times this stream.
What's that?
Sue me.
So sue me.
I stand behind my Spotify rap. I don't actually. It's bull crap.
Did you say bull crap?
Bull crap. Bullarchy. Sorry.
Bunch of malarkey.
Oh, okay. So we're going to yellow.
Well, there's
As
a
a
part of
base
this
coat.
that I missed that I think is skin.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Right?
Oh.
Because there's like some weird like hair cloth stuff, but it doesn't go around the back. So I think that nestled up in here is a little bit of area that's skin, and I didn't even put yellow on it. So I'm just going to do this, and then we'll hit it with the green, and that'll take care of it. If I decide to cover it up with whatever the fabric color is later on, I can do that.
And Goopster, that blue that you see there, that is the special sauce and jade. Not turquoise or dark turquoise. It's jade.
Yeah, on the Oni, I just did jade as a base coat over black, but it's going to wind up being, much darker on this.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have I painted it over the black because when I did the black armor with a special sauce, I just did it over everything.
Goopster, that is our call to action.
So I'm going to do a Payne's Gray wash
paints.
over what you just saw me apply.
Yeah.
And then we'll highlight back up. Because Payne's Gray is also very, very close to what this black does in the highlight area. So I think that will get me closer.
How did that green skin make you feel, Chris? I do like the green skin. I like that workup. I would do my orcs that way, 100%.
This one I like better because it had less of the bright white on it.
Oh, I can see the belly now. See it?
Well, this one I did, yeah.
Right. It's okay.
So yeah, you can see how well the medium works with the regular paints, because that's just regular jade out of the bottle. And I slopped it on too, and it got really, really good.
Yes, Scoopster, this paint has not come out yet. We're planning on releasing it at Adepticon, the first 12 with the medium.
I want to show you the difference between glopping that on and this. These are some models I bought on the internet.
Oh, and that you're going to repaint.
Yeah, that I'm going to repaint. Well, not repaint. I'm going to use their base layers because the stone is done really cool. But you can see where like the speed paints were done and how goopy they look.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
that looks like caramel popcorn.
They leave,
doesn't it? Because it has
that called?
splotches like that.
It's called staining, though.
But you
right?
get nothing like that with ours. So I'm very, very happy with the outcome of that. And especially when mixing an opaque paint with it, because you would think it would stain more with the opaque paint than when it was made, as suited. But that is really, really good. We get good shading on that.
Scorcher says, I mentioned last stream I had some paint sets on my Christmas list. I remember. Happy to report I got the set with the 3 brushes, metallic set, and a size 3 sable. Absolutely loving the paint.
Oh, the intro set. Nice.
The brushes. Hey,
awesome. Thank you.
That is the best way to get into us. And get into us, I mean Monument Hobbies.
How would you get a pearlescent sheen of purple or blue and a black? Like in a starling's feathers? So we've shown this before, and we kind of did... it's all rubbed off and
well, that thing has been through the
ringer, but I showed how painting the black and then going over it with or I think I underpainted this one, didn't I? So I did all the colors like the turquoise, and we were just playing around, so it's like got yellow and turquoise and magenta and things like that there, and then using the black wash over the top of it so that your black is basically filtered over the top of your colors, and you just keep layering the black up until it looks black enough for you, and it'll show kind of that oil slick coloring underneath. Now, this isn't going to be what you're looking for because, like I said, it's a bunch of different colors that I was just showing off. but you can get that kind of oil slick look that way, and it will look very blended. Another way to do it is to paint the surface black and then dry brush white or a light gray over the surface where you want those colors to be, and then glaze those colors over the light gray. Then they will blend between the light gray and the black subsurface, and you'll get those colors more vibrant over the top, but they can look like they're painted on top. So then I would still do the black wash over that. But really it's about, painting a brighter color over the black, because normally like your blues and purples and things like that won't show up over black. So you want to paint like a light gray or a mid-tone gray in those areas, then do the purple and the black or whatever colors you said on there, and then wash it with black again. Glaze or do something with the black to put the colors underneath the surface.
I'm finding that VOD for you guys. I take it back. I'm not.
I take it back.
I don't remember when we did that.
I take it back. I regret my decisions.
Oh, here it is. Cool blammer. Found it. Hooch.
Did you say hooch?
Hoochie. Oh,
Chris's sounds are amazing.
Me?
He just comes up. He just makes like all these crazy sounds.
I know what I'm doing, man.
No, you don't.
Oh, I know exactly what I'm doing. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Here was that link. Cool blam. Schlanky. There you go. All for Jason.
Me?
The sound effects, man.
Oh my God.
Jason's a great sounding board for bits. Jason's a certain audience, then Gabe's a certain audience, and then I've got I've got other people as audience. But Gabe's a good audience member. Chat's a good audience member. Jason, there's some bits that get Jason. There's some that don't.
I yelled at him today.
You did?
Because one of his bits drives me bananas.
Oh, my Bilbo to Gandalf bit. Never again. I heard you.
I hate it.
That's okay. I totally understand. Hey, I tested the bit and it didn't play. That's okay. I learn. That's what audience testing is for.
It's what audience testing
Which
is
I
for.
learned way more about that working in production than I ever did in the past, like actual audience testing and how they do it, which is actually a really cool process, what they used to do. The more you know.
The psychological manipulation
they
of crowds.
12 rando people. They put them in a small movie theater room, and they make you watch the movie, and that's audience tested. Pretty much it. That's it. It could be like 10 people.
But they pay very close attention to your responses.
That's true, yes.
To the scenes that they're
film
going
you.
after at the time.
They film your face while you're doing it.
One of the problems is that in the old days, they used to bring different crowds in for different parts of the movie they were testing.
This is true.
And so, like if they thought something was going to be offensive to women, they'd bring in an all-woman group and see their reaction to that part, but they wouldn't show them the rest of the movie necessarily. Or wouldn't, I think they'd watch the whole movie, but they wouldn't judge their reactions to other things.
Scene testing.
Yeah.
They would test the scene.
Right.
It's very interesting.
Because there's all these stories of how those things have gone. Mel Brooks did The Elephant Man.
Yeah.
He produced The Elephant Man.
Which is wild that he did.
Right. And he had David Lynch direct it, right? Mm-hmm. And that's a match you'd have never thought of, right? Especially Mel Brooks, right? I think of Mel Brooks in a totally different light than doing the Elephant Man, the Medicine Man.
The Elephant Man was the first sad movie I saw as a kid.
It's brutal.
It's brutal. It made me, I can't watch that movie without being upset.
It's one of the ones that because I looked at a lot of this like crowd testing stuff back in my day as a producer of music, and to get information on like what got people emotionally involved in a product. Yeah. And it was funny on that one because they wanted him to cut out so much of that movie.
Of the Elephant
because
Man?
They did it to an audience that one group thought was a test audience for their reaction, and the other group thought they were just showing off their progress.
Huh.
I think there's even a funny quip by Mel Brooks in that was like, I invited you here to see our progress, not to offer critique. Because he says, I don't solicit. It was something like, I don't solicit the critique of lesser men.
Yeah.
And he told this to the executives, which I hope is true.
Yeah. It's funny that movie, I can't believe that he produced it. It's so funny. That's not funny. The movie's not funny. It's funny that Mel Brooks, the first thing you think of is not Elephant Man. Every other movie.
Oh, yeah. 100%. It's not a Mel Brooks feeling film. It's no Blazing Saddles.
I love Blazing Saddles. I do love Mel Brooks. Speaking of Mel Brooks.
Welcome, everybody.
Oh. You did it. Hey, I hope everybody is having a great holiday week. We are winding down here at Monument Hobbies. It doesn't feel like a holiday week, but we will be streaming tomorrow as well.
What?
That's right.
What? Says who?
You did.
Oh.
You said that.
Well, then it must be true.
Are you using contrast medium here? He's using the special sauce medium.
We have now created our entry into that field as a Procurl paint, and you are seeing the first tests over the course of the last month with said product, and this is the medium that is mixed with our Jade standard Procurl paint. Just showing off how easy it is. This was literally just mixed in a cup. About 2 to 1 with a squirt of water. And the squirt of water will thin it a little bit more, but it just gets the flow exactly where I wanted it. I wanted it to really shoot into the crevices and do its job. I'm excited to see people have fun with it and figure out everything they can do with all the other colors and mixes. And I think, again, the belief here at Monument has and always will be that as you start to become more confident in your painting, that the thrill of being able to mix and create with the paints themselves rather than just on the model is a huge part of the entire process. I don't really understand what's going on at his neck level.
Matthias has a great segue question. When developing a product like the secret sauce, how much time do you spend testing / using competing products in the same space? You test things quite rigorous. We're doing it right now.
Well, he's saying competitive products.
Yes, that's the second part of the question. Yeah.
Yeah, for our products, we test the crap out of them.
Right.
Competitive products, I don't test much. When we get to the lab phase and we're, checking to see how adhesion for some of the competitors are versus what we're seeing on our own, we do that because we'd be stupid not to, right? We want to make sure that we're living up to the expectation. But generally, when designing a formula, it's not about the competition, especially not in a case like this.
Yeah.
And I say this in this specific case, well, I guess it's true of all cases. I don't care. I didn't use these kinds of paints before because I don't like them as quality products. It's not that they're bad. It's just that in my painting process, I couldn't find a place to use them because of the way they behave. They give too much clumping of pigment. They get splotchy very quickly if you don't take tremendous care in their application, which if you're a newer painter isn't what you're focused on. And so they tend to look messy. They tend to not be good for painters as you grow with painting. You tend to abandon them. We talked to a lot of people about that, and a lot of people with those kinds of paints, speed paints and such, use them. And if you don't choose to continue painting that way, if you want to, push into other techniques and things like that, you tend to abandon those paints until much later. So they sit unused because they don't do anything for standard painting because of their inconsistencies. And then when you get very confident with your painting and things like glazing and filtering, then they become very powerful tools again because they have a very good controllable opacity.
Yeah.
While being very uncontrollable as a final look, if just slopped on like they're meant to be. And so for me, I was always like, nah, for years. I mean, if you've been around here for long, you know that there's been plenty of times where I'm like, nah, we'll never make a speed paint type product until we can create one that is something that I can use in the way I paint normally to make my base layers go on quicker, to be able to filter with it quicker, to be able to do what I'm doing right now quicker. And now we have. So that is, something where I don't have to test competitors' stuff because I'm just testing it to see if I would use it. right? I'm literally just looking at the paint from a standpoint of, is this something that I can find myself using in my own painting consistently enough to make it worth putting together and selling? Because I'm the one that has to sit here and tell you whether or not the product is worth using, and then I have to be able to put my money where my mouth is and show you the product on a model that I'm enjoying painting. And so we're just built that way. We want to make sure that it hits our consistency and feels the way we want it to feel before we release it. I think this guy, the sculpt here, if you look, it has no detail. Like this cloth comes up the back and then it just ends.
I zoomed in. What are you talking about? I see.
So I think I'm just going to do that. I'm going to do this trim on their black too, but I had to do the inside first.
Oh, you're doing it.
So I'll just do this across the back in black.
Scorcher says, I just want to say thank you for all of your help and advice. I've said it to you before, but I can't overstate it. This is why you have a community and not customers. Feel very blessed to be a part of this community. Hey, Scorchers, we really appreciate that.
Thank you. That means the world. You know, we try our hardest, and sometimes we don't get it right. You know, I'm sure we piss some people off, but the reality is that we're here to help you enjoy painting models. If you do it with our product, many thanks, because that's what keeps us able to do this thing like the show and everything, all the education that we do. But at the end of the day, I don't care what product you use. I'm a big fan of the fact that the right paint and the right brush and the right model are the ones that you enjoy the most.
Yeah.
Because if you're not enjoying what you're painting, it doesn't matter what other people say. If they say, oh no, you should be using Pro Acryl, but every time you use Pro Acryl, you don't get the outcome you want, then don't use it, right? Use a product that gets you the outcome that you feel good about. And that's what we try to do. So hopefully you get, when you're here, we talk to you in terms of, or my goal is to talk to you in terms of what you can be doing to create better feeling while painting at your end, regardless of what it is you're painting. So,
hey, Archimedes, thank you so much for that. Jason, what is our 1,000 Suns blue equivalent?
I don't know, because that internet picture is horrible.
Let's see.
It's
there's so many.
Yeah,
this looks like a totally different
I would
color.
mix dark gray blue with dark jade.
This is the hex, maybe?
That's not right either. That's brighter than what's being shown. You got things from all the digital world where if you look at those three pictures, and those are three different colors.
Like all these. Look at
it's like five
these.
different colors right
there.
I would mix like dark jade. If you like, the brighter one is more like turquoise. Like dark turquoise.
Yeah.
So you could try our dark turquoise right out of the bottle, because that's this. Right here. Right?
Yeah.
And that's a great color. But I think that dark jade...
Sold by Design. Hopefully that helps.
Right? Dark jade into dark turquoise would be great.
Ooh, that's a great 1,000 Suns workup, though.
But even better is the dark sea bin. Because it adds a little bit more
turquoise.
Blue and not quite as much green as the jade. Right?
Dark turquoise,
but something like that into dark turquoise, and then you can highlight with turquoise is what I propose to people for doing 40K 1,000 Suns all the time.
There you go. The mo you know.
If you needed a little bit more blue in there anywhere along the line, you could either use transparent blue or dark gray blue. Works really well too. So,
somebody was saying, I would love to see Jason's paint pens. Jason's PA paint pens.
No. Won't happen.
Jason?
What?
Never say never.
That's one I have a ton of confidence saying no to.
You don't want to be in that business.
You just won't catch me using a paint pen on anything. I mean, the only thing I've ever really thought about is, like I said, I always call out Rob on this, because Rob from Spiky Bits used the Sharpie gold pens to do gold trim.
Yeah.
Because those are pretty indelible. Like when they set, they create a film, meaning that they don't rub off.
Are you talking about like an actual Sharpie?
Sharpie. You use the Sharpie Gold because they're indelible inks from Sharpie anyway.
Yeah.
The gold has a different resin in it, or a different kind of a mastic or something in it that makes it skin over, and when it creates the film, it's actually really tough. So if you're doing like chaos and you could draw in, the problem with all of those is a pen nib can never get into the detail areas on a 3D surface. It's meant for writing on 2D surfaces, not 3D surfaces. No matter what they tell you, none of these paint pens are made for 3D surfaces. Just people are coming out with product to sell you because you'll give them their money, and it's not meant for it. Doesn't mean it's bad. Doesn't mean it can't do some cool things. You won't find me doing that, because I would never look at a model and say, you know what I need right here is a pen. Except when using like the micron, 0.005 micron pens to do like the lettering on purity seals and stuff. But then you just go get the the black micron pens, and I used to keep black, red, and brown micron pens so that I could write on purity seals.
That's actually okay.
Yeah, because they're teeny tiny points, and you can actually make scribing and do like the lettering on purity seals. So I always say do that, but those are just pens you go buy.
We're just gonna make a Pro Acryl micron pen.
Sponsor us, Micron. No free press.
No
free pub.
Free pub. That was
the
test.
pens are 3D, Sugar Rush.
What if you make a 3D pen? Oh, I see. I appreciate all the transparent making only what you need is better focus, providing quality over quantity. That's our whole mission.
Yeah, 100%. I don't need to sell everything. I just need to make sure I love using everything we sell.
D. Schmidt was like, Jason's going to hate me. I already ordered empty paint pens for special sauce tests.
I think it's great. I think that, like I said, no product is wrong if you can fit it into your process and feel good with the outcome. No product. I don't care who or what product you're using. I don't care what brand you're using. If by the end of you using it, you found something cool that it does, great. Share it. Go on our Discord and share it. You might blow my mind. You might be like, oh, I would do that. I have in my office, I have titanium white in a pen that we did a long time ago, right? And it just doesn't do anything for me. I'm like, meh.
It's
because somebody had asked us, hey, could we take the clear paint pens? Because you can go on Alibaba right now and buy like 24 clear paint pens for like $7. So
did you do that?
Mix some of your paint with a medium and go fill clear pens. Don't buy ones that are pre-made. Like literally get the colors you need and use the paints you love and put them in clear pens if you want to try that. I wouldn't waste my money on something that has less paint for more dollars that doesn't work as well. That's the thing I don't like. That's what I don't back, right? The idea of taking a clean, like an empty one, right, that you bought in bulk and then putting paint in it and testing things out, I think it's great. Because you might love doing trim with it. Like I said, all that chaos trim on like a Helldrake. Right? Big flat paneled surfaces on the Helldrake, and the trim's easy to get to. So if you could put gold paint in a pen and do it that way, I would never argue with that as being a bad idea, because that would suck doing all that trim.
It's all about trim, man.
Fountain pen with oil washes is great, right? Great application for it. The fountain pens can be really nice for that. That's an old scale model trick.
We used to
use a I don't know what it's called. It's just I call it a tuning fork because it only had two divisions in the nib rather than the bigger ones that have multiple ones for calligraphy. But the little tight one, because you could just go poke it into a slot, and it made getting the paint to flow in the crevices super easy because that thin blade of the fountain pen just fit right in there most of the time. So there's some great ways to use those as tools, 100%.
Have you opened your master's compressor?
No. Did somebody ask that?
Stan just did.
I took it home and set it on the floor and played video games.
I hate the idea of pens.
I've been playing this video game called No Rest for the Wicked. It's maybe one of the most amazing games I've ever played.
No Rest.
I'm almost ready to call it one of the most amazing games I've ever played. So,
yeah, the markup for the pens is a little obscure. You're buying a lot of plastic when you get a pen.
Yeah. Well, it's because they're getting them off of Alibaba. They didn't do anything new. Nobody that's selling pens has done. I mean, those acrylic paint pens have been around for decades. I used them on tennis shoes when I was in high school.
Negative. I've been playing Path of Exile, and it's been fun.
We used acrylic paint pens to do the bottom of skateboards for years, back in my teens and early 20s. So, play Path of Exile. Yeah, it's not as good.
Is that the one that's like Diablo mixed with the Souls style combat? Are you talking about the game you're playing, Jason?
Yeah. PoE is good. PoE is. I don't like the things that are done in seasons where they just make you play the same game over and 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 over.
Is a great game. They're just get the game out. That's it. I love that game, but make it real.
I get really tired out. But I have to admit that No Rest for the Wicked is also in early release on Steam. It's a very small group, so the story's not finished.
Yeah.
And so the thing about it is the story's so great. The animation is done like
I've heard of this game.
It's done by the people that did Ori and the Blind Forest.
Okay.
So already it's going to be a great game because the Ori games are fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think they're French, and it's the same art style that feels reminiscent of Arcane.
Yeah.
And it looks spectacular when you're playing it. It just plays. It's just great. It's everything
alpha.
I love in an action RPG.
T-Schmid, take it easy, my man.
Take it easy. The Arc Raiders game loop is fun. I like it. I'm not a huge fan of extraction shooters. That was really fun. Seven Days to Die. 7 Days to Die. I don't know all the games. I don't do a ton. I get locked into very few games and don't move out of them.
I rarely move from game to game. Rarely.
All right.
What are you gonna do next, Jason?
Well, I don't know.
I need to use the restroom and blow my nose.
Yeah, go for it. I don't know. Because the interesting thing here, right, is that we did red on these with just burnt red, pyro red. Right, just really simple. So I could do just burnt red, pyro red on all of this. But there's a part of me that would like to do them in the crimson. Right, if you remember, I didn't throw the model away, but I put the model away that has the raw crimson on it. It's a different red, so it would be different than what we've done on the trim here. I don't know that I really care about that much. I couldn't do the trim with the special sauce because it's just not enough area on this guy, right? And they don't have to be just complete combinations. They can be variations on a theme. So I'm not mad at doing different things on these. Different colors. The colors can be different. I mean, that turned out great. Like, I just slopped that on there, and it's already dry and looks fantastic. I'm wondering if I do want to put a Payne's Gray wash over the top of that, or because it's a little brighter than I would like it, or if the Payne's Gray will kill it. Let's try it. Let's try it on this guy, because this guy I think is too bright for my liking around the shoulders and stuff. Same with this guy. Right, like up around the shoulders, it's just the jade is too bright over the plain white. Because in those areas where the jade sits, there's just not any contrast because none of the black lived there. So if I highlight that, it's going to be super bright. So I need to darken that down. So I'm going to use Payne's Gray Wash. We're going to do it, Chet. Do it.
Tried a sable brush for the first time yesterday on the Sam Lens one. Felt really different not having the snapback. Are the Pro Synthetics the same feeling as regular synthetics or more towards a sable feeling?
Felt really different not having the snapback. Are the Pro Synthetics the same feeling as regular synthetics or more towards a sable feel? The Pro Synthetics are... Okay, so the difference between a synthetic and a sable is that a sable is softer, so when it flexes, it doesn't have the snap, right? It does still have snap compared to other brushes out there, but it's meant to be more fluid. It's meant for watercolor, right? So when you're moving around watercolor, you want the brush to not be so stiff to where it like flicks the watercolor around. You want it to be nice and smooth in how it maneuvers around the surface. So they tend to flex more. They hold the flex into them a little bit. If you painted with a sable brush and it sits here like this with a point, and then you start painting with it, it'll maintain its direction of hook a little bit until you physically straighten it back out sometimes. Synthetics will most of the time snap back to straight, right? So if you're like me and you like a lot of texture, synthetics work great for that because I can do really fast brush strokes and my brush is going to snap back to straight every time. So I know I get the line start stop point like almost identical if I need it to be. But I can do the same thing with a sable. With a light enough touch, you're not bending the sable enough for it to matter. So, every brush can work. When you ask about the Pro Synthetics, the Pro Synthetics are a synthetic that draw and release paint more akin to a sable, meaning that they can hold a larger amount of paint in the belly and still give you very fine line detail out, whereas most synthetics, as you start to put pressure on them, will release more paint. All of our synthetics do that, though. All of our synthetics are much better in quality than cheap ones that you'll go buy. So they all perform more like a sable, but they're stiff. So imagine a stiff sable. Because the other thing a sable does is because you have so much hair in the bundle, it retains so much more paint. If you think like ox hair and horsehair brushes for canvas painting, they have larger diameter to the actual hair that's in the bristle, and so they hold less paint. Or they hold a lot of paint, but they release a lot of paint at the same time. They don't hold as much paint in the belly reliably because of the thicker hair. So sables have very thin hair, hold a lot of paint, give you a lot of control, paint for a long time, which is great.
Mathis says, since moving to Vermont, I've been experiencing some volcano bottles with my PA collection, where when I open them, paint starts to pour out even upright. Is that a solution? Is there a solution to this?
Crack the lid.
Crack the lid before you
Our
open
bottles
it up.
are sealed. This is just fluid dynamics. This is the way liquid in a bottle that seals works. Whether it's Coca-Cola and you shake it up, or our paints and they change, temperature or elevation. You're going to build pressure up in them as the pressure of the outside air changes. And so you just simply take the bottle, and before you open it, crack it.
I have to.
Anytime we
going
fly
to my
with our
house.
paints to a show, I have to do that for pretty much every paint I open up, or when I do it'll spurt out.
Yeah.
Because they seal. That's
We
what
do
keeps
it-
them fresh longer.
We have a true seal on ours. That's why.
You know what? I'm going to put a little bit of the speed paint medium in the wash to thin it out.
Oh, really?
Rather than water, because I don't want the viscosity to go lower. I just want to thin it out. So yeah, I'm going to do a little bit of the speed paint. There you go. There's another test. We'll just keep blowing minds today. So our special sauce medium should work just as well with a wash as any other paint. And we'll do that here. This way I only have to put maybe a drop of water.
Yeah.
Really.
Matthias, just crack it a little bit. I have to do that going up to my house because the elevation change, even going to my house, makes
It doesn't take
do
much,
that.
especially
Yeah,
when the paint is full.
Just a
As
little bit.
it obviously as it becomes less paint in it, you don't have the same problem.
Source says true seal trademarked. Make seal noises. There you go. You got that one for
That's
free.
a seal of approval.
Does the perfect seal make a noticeable difference? Friend told me it's a gimmick.
Huh? How in the world could it be a gimmick?
Makes a huge difference.
A huge difference.
Something that's sealed compared to something that's not sealed equals air into water, which makes it dry.
Yeah,
That's
definitely
it.
not.
That's why we put it in there. Otherwise, we wouldn't do it. Right? That's the whole point. Makes it last longer.
All right, that's interesting.
Oh, you're testing this for the first time ever.
Yeah, but that's interesting.
Wad said also let the paint settle for a moment back in the bottle before closing it. Yeah, that's what I do. I have to crack it a little bit, but that helps too. Okay, Shorty says I'm
not going to use that. I'm going to have to do more testing off stream with that. I got flakes of the pigment as soon as I mixed it with the wash.
Oh,
So I'll need to go back and make sure what kind of chemical reactions happen in there. We'll just do it by itself.
Source, my guess he's applying sunken cost fallacies to the Citadel collection. I don't know what you're talking about there.
He's what?
I'm reading here. 1 second. Does the perfect? Yeah, my guess. Oh, no, we're talking about the seal. Yes, the seal keeps it from drying.
Yeah. You can't, if air can't evacuate, then you can't have evaporation, right? So
Vector says, will secret sauce be like mixing speed paints using glaze and wash medium because it's tremendous result with that? ? You already have a tremendous result.
It will be better because you are dealing with paints that aren't going to dilute the same way. So, I think you'll be more pleased. You can make a wash with the glazed wash medium, but it's going to pull more pigment and have less what we call tint strength. You're not going to get as much of the color on the high spots using the glazed wash medium as with this, right?
Yeah.
This is meant to leave the whole idea with these paints is to leave more color over all of the surfaces you paint. Oh yeah, this is what this needs. A little bit of Payne's Gray loving.
Payne's Gray wash. It's great.
It's superlative.
Nicholas says, I still have original 12 mil bottles and that paint is still good.
12 ml bottles of what?
17 mil bottles of the original paint.
Oh yeah, Procrawl.
Oh,
yeah, our first
Damage Inc.
release
Okay.
was in 17 ml bottles.
Damaging says, yes, this debate came up because my friend was arguing why Citadel pots are superior. He was trying to tell me that the seal was not actually important. Seemed like nonsense. Well, yeah, it's just a
nonsense.
seal. People get used to not having something that's good. So, I mean, I'm not dogging on that, but a seal it just makes sense.
Oh, that's going to be perfect.
Hey, absolutely. So, Scorch, thank you for showing me that. I wanted to make sure I got that question. Okay, Shorty says, when in doubt, Payne's gray it out.
Payne's gray it out.
That's actually got some really good truth in there.
Payne's gray and jade. We're using the two biggest solutions to anything that ails you when mini painting right now. Jade is the color I always go to if I can't figure out what color to use. And Payne's gray is the right shade when you want to go a little bit darker and don't want to use black. Payne's gray is the fake black of your dreams.
Because you're just going right over the jade.
Yeah, right over the jade's
gotcha.
special sauce.
I happen to transfer my local couple Citadel pots to used empty Procro bottles for the seal, LOL. Damage Inc., you go back and you train them. Teach them the way of the seal. Trademark.
Just keep it'll keep it fresh on the shelf longer. Not everybody paints all the time. If you paint a lot, you won't see any of these problems, right?
That's
so
true.
We're not trying to make a problem, something that isn't a problem for some people into a problem for everybody, because, it's like, if you paint like we do, we're never going to have paint dry out because we use all the colors all the time, and it's never going to really rear its ugly head.
Hey, if you've got paint drying out, paint more.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Solution.
That's the deeper question. You don't need any kinds of seals when your paint is just running out and going onto your model. There you go. There's a deeper conversation to be had. What are you doing with all this paint that's not used? Unless you're an addict, that's different. Paint addicts do exist. We know them. It's okay.
You do you.
Hey.
We don't kink shame.
Watson, wow, Chris just called me out in front of everybody.
I'm in this picture and I don't like it.
I'm just saying, Wad. If your paint is drying out, you're not painting enough. I'll call you out right now. I'll stand on that.
It is truth. We get a lot of people that are like, hey, my paint, I open it up, it's dry. I was like, when's the last time you used it? And they're like, 3 years ago.
Oh, you mean 3 years ago?
I'm like, ooh. Well.
Would you say the same thing about peanut butter? Oh, this 3-year-old peanut butter tastes no good. Well, obviously, our paint has way longer shelf life than peanut butter, but you get my drift.
Is that true? I don't know if I'm ready to make that. I don't know what the shelf life of peanut butter is.
I guess
I've eaten some really old peanut butter.
I guess that classic, just beautifully processed Jif every once in a while.
Beautifully processed.
Come on, baby.
No real peanuts in it at all.
Let's go. X up for Jif. Sponsored by Jif.
Sponsored by Jif.
We're not sponsored by anybody but ourselves. And you painting these models.
Really want to now be sponsored by, like, Jif.
No, that's Jason. We will.
Choosy painters choose Jif.
And comboed with Nutella. It's pronounced GIF. Gnarly. Different thing.
Oh my God, that's the best answer I've ever heard.
It's pronounced GIF peanut butter.
It's pronounced GIF peanut butter.
Brent, Dawn dish soap. That's my first one.
He keeps saying this, but he's not brave enough to call him.
I will, with your permission, I will call.
Call Don Dish Soap.
All right, I'll call him.
I'm going to laugh if some of these companies are like, you know what? We actually love what you do.
Hey, I actually paint miniatures and would love to sponsor the stream. This episode is brought to you by Dawn Dish Soap. Do you need to clean a little baby duck or your palette that you haven't cleaned in a year? Dawn Dish Soap.
Oh, that's right. Dawn did like the oiled
They
birds.
do that, apparently. It's beautiful marketing too, because the little clean duckies. Come on, man, I need some Dawn in my life. And those little duckies. Sponsored by Dawn Dish Soap. Don't put in your eyeballs.
To hell with big oil. I'd buy a Dawn. Dawn, an Exxon corporation.
Inspired and feeling good. That's right. Unfollow. You don't like peanut butter. Frigid Phoenix, hey, I've been waiting for you to call, Chris. We watch you every Monday through Friday, 2 to 4 p.m. Monument Standard Time, and we just have been waiting for you to ask Monument. Okay, I'm Frigid. I'll hold you to it.
Does Frigid work for Dawn?
Wait a second. Frigid? Wait a minute.
Have you been holding out on us? Is that what I'm hearing here?
Frigid,
Frigid's like, I told the marketing department, and then you never called, so.
Frigid, I'm going to be so upset if you work for Dawn Dish Soap.
That is perfect. Right? Just a little bit of that Payne's Gray shadow added on over the jade. Now I'm loving it. Oh, sued by McDonald's. Sued by McDonald's. Sued by McDonald's.
He's not loving it.
Monument Hobbies. You know what we should do? We should make the M logo a golden arch.
We can't. We literally can't. We could. We could just make our... we can't do that, Jason. Special sauce. There's too much food.
You see where I'm going?
No, Jason, he didn't say I'm loving it. He says I'm deeply appreciating it with fun painting. That's what we legally said. Isn't that right, Jason?
No. I said I'm loving it. I stand by what I said.
Send him the clown. No free pub. That's right, Damage.
I know what I said.
Pub. All right, Source says, so your approach with these special sauce paints is to base coat with a highlight and then apply a shade with a thinner dark special sauce paint. Seems like what you've been doing most times. Are there other approaches? No, it's okay, Source. No spamming required.
How do you mean? Other approaches? I mean, these paints are meant to just go over a white primed or a bone or a light colored prime model.
Heck, it's also just good filters for whatever the heck you want.
So yeah, we've been testing them over just, various light colored primers. Right, that's what you see in all of this nonsense, right? Just checking adhesion and color retention and things like that. These are a mess, obviously, but this is, just showing it like that green with the yellow and stuff over that on the arm. This is the way you would normally think people would use it, right? And they work great. They give a much cleaner application if you're trying to do the go fast thing, and they're not as satiny, right? You have a pretty good matte finish on them, so you're not going to get that brutal shine that the others do.
Go fast paint.
Monument Go Fast.
Monument Go Fast. Are you slow? Well,
go fast. Too fast, too furious.
This episode is sponsored by Going Fast.
Oh my God, our ad campaign needs to be, it's all about family.
It's all about family, brother. And painting your models fast. If you thought other paints were fast, imagine if it's Pro-Acryl fast.
Vin Diesel.
How much does it cost to get Vin Diesel to do the commercial? A lot of money.
I mean,
that would be hilarious if we could get Vin Diesel.
You never know until we try.
That's true.
Call his agent. He plays D&D.
I don't work for Don, and after shaking Chris's hand, I would have assumed he preferred. Okay, I'm willing to make calls or emails. Okay, Frigid Phoenix, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get a first Don sponsorship. Ba-da-ba-boopy.
I'm loving it. Come on down to the Golden M.
No, he doesn't mean
buy
Golden
some paints.
He means
and some special sauce.
He means off Golden M, not legal. Jason, it's 4:01 p.m.
And?
What do you mean, and?
You didn't finish your sentence.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to finish putting the Payne's Gray on these, and then I'm quitting.
No, you're not quitting. What are you talking about? You will paint.
Quitting. Can't make me keep painting.
Joshua Lee, I just posted a Photoshop Golden M in Discord. I won't use it. Legal. Illegal.
I think this is the 2026 rebrand.
Ba-da-boochie, blappity boopity boop chia blue. There you go.
I think we should just push it and see how far we can go before cease and desist come through. Because they have to do the cease and desist first.
Ba-da-boo-cha-poo, blah-blah-doo.
Right?
I'm really appreciating it.
Of course, they could bring up this stream where I say we're going to rob them of their IP.
And it's too late.
And bring that up in court. And then we're screwed. But, hey, it was fun while it
Or McDonald's like, you know what? I like these guys.
We're going to purchase Monument Hobbies.
Okay. People always think of the bad. It
what
could
if
go the good way.
I don't know that it'd be good to be owned by the McDonald's Corporation. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Somebody over there at
like if somebody at McDonald's came in and said, okay, we're making acquisitions this year into new territory, and one of those is the miniature painting world for nerds.
I'm just saying, it could go the other way. All these companies could be like, you know what? These guys are funny, and everybody likes them. And by them, I mean Jason. Chris is 50-50, but they do good, fun stuff. And
give yourself a lot of credit there.
I know, 50-50, that's harsh. Harsh in both ways you look at that. I'll give myself a good 10%. 10% of you like me. 90 of you probably could do without me, but that's okay. I'm here for the 10%.
I'm here for the 10%.
I would say if you're out there and if you are a part of the McDonald's Foundation, Dawn Dish Soap, name brand here.
The McDonald's Foundation is a different thing, Chris. That's not the McDonald's Corporation.
I am a part of the McDonald's Foundation.
That doesn't surprise me.
We will.
Government plant.
We got him. I actually
Mr.
work
President,
for the FBI. I actually work for the FBI.
Yep.
Little does Jason
That's what he keeps saying.
I'm just waiting for Jason to make that one mistake out there.
So the other day when I was creating my fraud health department program,
you talking about secret sauce? Got him.
He's talking about secret sauce.
I don't know what this secret sauce is, but it's all I need. Book 'em, Dano. All right, that's it for me, folks. And by me, I mean Jason. And by Jason, I mean me. Here's the slogan. Frigid says, "Here." Jason wants me out of here. It's 4:04. I've got to go.
404 not found.
4:04 not found. Wow. That's a great segue into my bit. Jason, are we painting tomorrow too?
Yes.
I see.
We are. Yeah, tomorrow is New Year's Eve.
It is.
And I don't know what the plan is. Chris has said we could stream later,
maybe,
but he can't go to midnight.
Well, we will go to midnight in certain parts.
Well, that's like Australia.
No, 8:00 is midnight, right? No, it's not. Well,
no.
actually, no.
9 is
technically
midnight.
We are Monument EU, so
10.
They celebrate.
Yeah, 10 o'clock in America is the first midnight that we will hit because we're mountain right now. So the East Coast is 10 o'clock for us.
That's true. I don't know if I go to 10.
So,
Matthias, Chris, tell me the extent of your job. I can't. I do many things.
Most of which include ratting on his friends to the FBI. Somehow we put up with him.
Sorry, I had to really friend this man to get him. I had to infiltrate deep.
Deep
I had to get
undercover.
real in.
Deep undercover.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out tomorrow. Maybe I come in.
I'll talk to Jen about it too tonight.
Well, yeah, you got to see if you got plans. I don't want to.
We don't have plans.
You have plans, all right.
We'll be avoiding.
It's streaming
humans
till midnight.
Is our plan.
Avoiding humans?
Yes. Well, in the real world.
The champion of the hobbies having a little get together. I have to go to that. You're a cop? Oh, yes. Got him. Chris may be coming tomorrow. Sounds exciting. Maybe. I might be here tomorrow. I might take my sick day.
You didn't get those.
I won't. I lose all my sick days, Jason. We lose those. They don't reset.
I don't take them in the first place, so this has no effect on me.
That's true. I don't get sick very often, chat. But when I do, it's mainly sinus issues.
8 weeks.
It's mainly sinus issues. Yeah, that's all I get.
Man, growing up in Texas, twice a year, I could guarantee that my sinuses were going to knock me on my butt.
They do. Winter transition for me is pretty rough. So, breathe right. I'm going after them. Right?
And Dawn Dish Soap.
Are there any plans for the 1-year anniversary of Chris in the production chair? That's true. It's coming up.
No.
I don't get celebrated, chat. I don't do that for.
He gets paid.
The accolades.
You realize he gets paid, right?
I do this.
He's a paid professional.
I pay my monthly monument fee to sit here and get lambasted by you. That's what I do. I do it for the people. I do it for we the people. Oh, you guys like this? Check this out. Jason doesn't know this, but look at this. Ready? I do it for you.
Oh, Jesus. That's great. That's so great.
Hey. Do it for you.
That's the old man stare coming back.
That's right. It's just this little servo zoom on this camera. Apparently paid by Monument. And hey, that's right. I get paid. I'm a paid professional.
Paid professional.
There he goes. And here comes the comments.
On
Bing,
a
bing,
closed
bing,
course.
Bing, bing, bing. You guys ready? Here,
Do
I'll
not
X
try
up
this
for
at
yourself.
home.
Bing. I'll do X's. Bing, 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 bing. There's all my X's. There you go. Have a nice day, Chad.
Who X'd up?
Me. I'm a paid professional, so I X'd up for myself.
Why were they Xing up?
I X'd up for myself when I said I'm a paid professional, and I would say, hey, do you want to... I'm just Xing up. Why not? That's why I X'd up.
Oh, because you were lying again or something? What's going on? Is he lying again? What did I miss?
What is your profession law? Matthias, I worked about 47 years at a public library.
47.
Just about.
He's 34.
Telling people to go, shh, quiet. Shh. Shh.
He's like 33, 34, 35, somewhere in that range.
Shh. This is a library. I love that Jason thinks I'm in my 30s. That makes me feel so young.
We've tried to carbon date him.
Sponsored
you should see
by...
him when he shaves his beard. I'm going to show him the picture of you with your beard gone.
That's just for you. That's private eyes.
He looks like 20.
I do. Well, you guys all saw it. I shaved like a month ago. Zoomers terms. Silence his whole life. Oh, we'll be around tomorrow, I guess. It's the new year. We're going to bring in the new year.
And you were a baby Army Ranger in Vietnam. Exactly, Jay Matthias.
Oh, I was. 47 years at the public library. Awesome. Rhino, wanted to say thank you for the... Hey, Dr. Rhino, absolutely. You're very welcome. You shaved for Halloween, yes.
Oh, so you remember that. Okay. Yeah, I guess I forgot that it didn't grow back the next day. I was going to send them the picture, but they saw it.
They did. I was literally on stream the following day.
Very scary for me when he sent me that picture. He said he was going to shave it all off. He left a little soul patch.
That's true. Chris, aside from bingo producing the show and teaching Tiger Woods how to golf, what do you do for a living? Great question.
And?
Great question.
And?
I sit here in this chair.
And?
17 hours a day. No, we're going to do a whole series on these guys, Jason. Or not a series. I would like to see a video of you painting over a old paint job. I think that would be fun.
Well, that's what these are.
I know.
So we purchased these from somebody on Facebook Marketplace.
But you're not going to re-prime them.
In one of the groups. No. I'm not going to prime them.
Right.
I'm going to just start painting over
right.
all the stuff that they've done. Because I actually like the way he's done the kind of old ancient stone look. It's done with a bunch of washes and speed paints and stuff, but he did a purple base coat.
That's kind of a cool model.
He's got like a royal purple style base coat on it, so it looks fantastic.
It's like an undead... Oh, that's
It's
cool.
It's like a walking mausoleum.
Yeah.
Right? It has like swords and stuff strapped to it, all these ancient, mausoleum pieces.
Oh, Dr. Rhino, and would you mind telling us about the painting competition? We have not finalized that. We will let you guys know very soon, though. Dr. Rhino, we will make we're going to make a whole video on it too. So you guys will not be left in the dark about that. Jason is finalizing some of the competition stuff, right, Jason?
Yeah.
So, but we will let you know as soon as we have it all buttoned up.
Yeah.
Expect that pretty soon, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like a lesson in how to get your army on the table. Because these guys are like as speedily painted as could possibly be done.
Yeah.
So now it's like go back and pick like the cloth and stuff out. So it doesn't all look like statue stone. The skulls.
Yes, Dr. Rhino. It's going to be really exciting. But yes, we will tell you all about it.
All about it. He's all about it.
How do the stand works for the texture trainer, says Brent. There's a little lip on the back of it that it goes right into. It's you can glue it, you can keep it up, you can do any of that. That's what it's meant to do.
Glues on like that.
Yeah,
Ow.
it's meant to be glued. If you place it on the table right, though, it can stand up on itself.
You should glue it.
Yeah.
It's not meant to be unglued. It's meant to glue on there. Dude.
Yeah. Gluing it definitely, Brent, is the way to go. Yes. Oh, nice. Dr. Rhino says he got the images for the 4th character sculpts.
Very cool.
Jason, are you going to continue?
No. I think I'm finished for tonight. I'm very happy with it, though.
Nice.
The Payne's gray over the top of that really helped to darken it where I want it, and then we'll highlight back up from that, and then that'll keep it more in line with what we've done here. See? Ta-da!
Yeah.
They almost already match. So it's just too easy.
That's great stuff.
And then we'll add some reds, and this whole army will be done in 5 days.
You heard him, chat. I didn't say that.
No, won't happen. Links! Aziz! Links! Oh, that should be our thing. Aziz! Links!
Hey, Joshua. Thank you. And thank everybody for showing up today.
You all rock. Even Chris. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging with us, watching some paint. Oh, that's sexy. I don't know what to do with myself. I need to go be alone.
You're welcome, world, for giving Chris a servo zoom. I only get this once.
Poor Aziz. Kid was tired and hot. Yeah, he was. Yeah, exactly. Super Bleeders got it. Everybody, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Remember, we normally stream Monday through Friday, but this week it'll be tomorrow. Well, tomorrow's the last stream of the year.
Technically.
We're going to do a New Year's Eve stream. We don't know how late we'll be going, but we'll have some fun. Maybe we'll do some giveaways. You never know. I think I want to give some stuff away.
I was going to say we should.
We'll do some giveaways tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll paint longer than normal, whether Chris hangs out or not, but I think he's going to hang out with us a little while. We'll see if maybe we can get Jen over here.
We're going to do some giveaways.
Right? And we'll have some giveaways. We'll have some fun, just some unscheduled shenanigans. We'll paint. We'll talk nonsense. It'll be a good time to hang out before you go off and do your own New Year's shenanigans. Or if you don't have anything planned and you're keeping it home, keeping the dogs safe from all the fireworks, then join us. We'll be having some fun.
There you go.
We live close enough. You live a long way away, though. You having to be that mobile?
Me? I don't consider all my travel is messed up.
There's no short for you, so
there's no short for me.
So and then we don't know through the weekend. I may stream a little bit from the house over the weekend, but I don't make any promises on that as we head into the new year. But then, of course, starting in the new year, starting January 5th, we'll be back again Monday through Friday. We do 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Monument Standard Time here from Phoenix headquarters of Monument Hobbies. We love that you guys join us. If you are new around here, if you came through just browsing the internet or on a raid, please hit that follow or subscribe button. We stream live on Kick, Twitch, and YouTube simultaneously, Monday through Friday, like I said. That's right. We'd love to see you. Chris put some links up in chat. Go check out the Discord. 6,400 amazing artists in there and climbing. We'd love to have a part of the community where you can join us every day, all day for good hobby talk, food. It's been some really amazing food. There was a pizza argument the other day, which I enjoyed reading through.
Secret sauce talk.
Some sauce talk, yeah, but we've got a really great community of people always willing to help and some great inspiration with all the work in progress that people are doing and finished models. So if you're ever in a kind of a slump on figuring out what you want to do next, a great place to get the hobby muse going again. Love to see you over there. Obviously, check out monumenthobbies.com and monumenthobbies.eu, where you can buy from our web store or one of your local retailers around the world and buy some Monument Hobbies next time you need some paint. Give us a shot. I think you'll find that we make the best juice out there.
We'll let you guys know when the December review. It'll be probably midweek, the first week of January.
You never know.
We'll let you know.
I've still got so many irons in the fire with that I don't have all my details lined out. But I'll start leaking details the beginning of January.
That's true.
So thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for hanging. Stick around. Chris is going to find us somebody to raid to keep the hobby going out through today. And we'll look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow. Adios.